What's going on, guys? My name is Braxton Klavins, and today we are here at Overland Expo Pacific Northwest, and I'm going to give you a little walkthrough of what Overland Expo has to offer. So we are here with Mark at the Eibach booth that creates amazing suspension. Tell me what you got going on here.
So today we brought, actually for this weekend, we brought our second gen Sequoia kit out. Okay. So this is a prototype kit. Right now this has our front 2.0 coilovers on it and our rear sport shocks. We're going to be looking at trying to get these guys some heavy duty rear springs as well. So it'll be a lift and level kit available for this second gen. We also have it for the first and third, so we're just kind of filling it all in.
Awesome. And then so who do you supply for? Like what all brands do you supply lift kits for?
We manufacture kits for a lot of the big makes and models. So Ford, Chevy, full-size, mid-size. Okay. We even have stuff for the Maverick here this weekend. F-150, Ranger, Silverado, Colorado, Tacoma, Tundra, Sequoia.
So
everything.
Pretty much
Land
everything.
Cruiser, yeah. We've got a little bit for everything. So
okay, awesome
for everybody.
So you had another prototype on display, right?
Yeah, we brought a bunch of cool stuff this weekend.
Okay, so let's go see that.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so take me through what you got going on here.
Yeah, so we brought a lot of cool stuff to the show. This one right here is an inverted monotube for the Maverick. It's the first we've done of this. And what you get is a 46 millimeter piston, which is like an industry largest for an inverted shock. A lot of times they're like a 36, but this is a full 46, so it's the same size as this, just flipped upside down.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you can see inside, this is the piston shaft. And so what you get out of this is a super strong strut type shock and coilover system, so you can height adjust your Maverick, and we're going to be looking at doing this for all sorts of other CUVs and crossovers.
Okay. Now, is it specific to the Maverick to why it needs to be inverted, or is there a benefit?
Well, the reason with the strut is because the strut is part of the turning mechanism, so it has side load on it, so you want to make sure that the strut has good DU bushings in there so you can turn it. And a lot of times with something like this, this is just going up and down, so it doesn't have any side load or has minimal side load on it. So what you need is a big beefy front strut, and this is the way to do it.
Awesome.
In addition to the front coilover, we have rear resis.
Okay.
We're working on these for the Maverick as well, but we currently have these out for a lot of the other trucks that I mentioned earlier. So again, F-150, Silverado, Colorado, Tacoma, 4Runner, Ranger, like everything you could possibly think of, we got a rear resi for that.
Sweet.
So these are cool. They're a little different than our sport shock. Yeah. They're more off-road focused. They have linear valving in them, and it's designed to match our front coilover, which we have over there. Yeah. And it's pretty much the best setup. You get the front coilover and the rear resi for the best off-road performance. Over here, we have our new forged aluminum control arms that we're working on. So this one is a Toyota application, but we plan on having these out for all of everything I mentioned earlier.
Exactly.
So, you know, the core stuff. And then these guys, this is our HD rear spring. Okay. This is designed to carry a load, static load of 200 to 400 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And keep the rear end lifted high. So a lot of new trucks have coil springs in the rear instead of leaf springs. So the Raptor, the T.R.E.A.D, the Tundra, Ram 1500s and Ram products, they all run rear springs. So we wanted to make an HD rear spring that people could use when they have tents or any other gear loaded onto the back.
Yeah, so all that weight in the back so you're not sagging or pulling trailers.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so this is the perfect setup for those guys.
And now take me through kind of what you got going on here, because these are a little bit different, I see.
Yeah, so these are existing products in our line, but we wanted to bring them out so we can talk about them with everyone who comes by the booth. But this is our Eibach Pro Truck 2.0 coilover. This is actually for a Bronco. So these have been super popular. They're like, everyone's picking these up. It's a great price point for a good quality product. Yeah. Actually, everything we do is made in Corona, California, even the shocks from start to finish. So everything is manufactured by us, tested, and then put together so you get a matching kit of quality stuff with like a limited lifetime warranty. So again, this is the coilover.
So is this a dual rate based off of kind of how
it is? It's a progressive rate. So what this allows is, you know, more droop in the system without the spring getting loose, and also you get a heavier rate. So you know, it rides in this progressive rate. So you get good ride quality and good performance all that's what it's about, the balance of finding both of those.
Yeah. So that's an upgrade over just kind of like a standard coil that doesn't have this kind of progression there.
Correct. So it just depends on what your application is, but linear versus progressive, it's a big debate, but it really is about setting your static loads and how much droop travel you have. So again, what's nice about this is that it allows more droop in the system, and that means more traction. So,
of course. You got to keep the tires on the ground. That's like the most important thing.
Exactly. So this is our load leveling system. And what we were finding was a lot of Toyota guys or guys with SUVs or girls with SUVs are overloading everything, and they have only options of an HD spring, or they're getting a super heavy rate HD spring, and they wanted something that they could just fine tune. So we came up with this height adjustable sleeve. You can screw it up or down to adjust the, like, fine tune your ride height for whatever rate or whatever weight you have. And what's nice about the system is that this is just a standard off-the-shelf race spring. You can get it from anywhere. So it's not, it's not hard to find. This is a 12-inch, 375, 250, right? And we offer this kit in a 200, 250, and a 300-pound range, and then you can go beyond that if you really need it. So it's a pretty versatile setup.
So would this be kind of like an adjustable spacer? Is that kind of, or
you could look at it that way, because I mean, technically this is a spacer, but it's not designed to be a spacer. It's really designed to function full travel in there. But yes, you could. It's basically
it's allowing you to really fine tune exactly kind of where you want to be.
Yeah, it's a perfect complement to the coilover, which also allows you to tune the front heights.
Of course.
So and then we just have our standard 1 and 1.5 inch lift blocks, billet aluminum. And this is our Pro Truck Sport Shock. This is a circlip adjustment. So it doesn't have the precise tuning of threaded, but you can still adjust your ride height with this setup. So uses the OE top mount and the OE style spring. So
sweet.
That's what we got.
Awesome. Now, how can people find more information about all of this stuff here?
So check out ibach.com or come see us at booth D77 for a chance to win $1,000 3 times this weekend. Come sign up.
So now we are at the Lexus booth, and they have announced something very special that I'm sure a lot of the Lexus and Toyota fans will appreciate.
Yeah, totally.
And I have Brandon here that's going to discuss that with us right now. So please tell us what's behind us right now.
Yeah, behind us right now is a very special 2024 GX. This thing has been very long in the tooth before we made a huge transition in the chassis, or it's really been small updates here and there for 14 years.
14 years.
So it's been a little bit. I mean, what we have here, obviously, immediately upon the first impression, when we're here at the Overland event, you come in the front gate, and we happen to have great positioning, of course, and you see this beautiful GX. The 550 in this particular model, and it is a pre-production, or a prototype, before we get into pre-production models. So it's coming hand-built from Japan. We're very happy to have it here. We had to kind of finagle to allow Overland to see this this early, because we are projecting for a release in 2024, probably winter.
End of next year.
I would imagine that it would probably showcase at one of the auto shows, probably LA, coming up this year, this holiday season, I believe around November.
So SEMA.
SEMA, it's very possible we see it at SEMA, because SEMA's a humongous deal, right? We see a lot of, they're very excited about the GX as well. So going back, SEMA. So SEMA's a phenomenal event, global invite for all the automotive world. We have a big presence there. Lexus has a huge presence there. We're also going to have, some heavily modded vehicles. A lot of our partnerships that we have, associations with different aftermarket manufacturers come and collaborate there, very often. Seen some amazing stuff in my personal experience over the years. But having the GX there, it would be a really big benefit to our very large display in our large presence there. But here at Overland, we didn't want to outfit it too much. We just wanted to show you the bare bones first look at what the most likely is going to come, off the assembly line, from Japan and into the North American market.
Awesome. It's out here just to kind of show, it's like, look, we are actually working on it. It's coming out, like, stay tuned.
Totally.
So can you please tell me the different features? Are you able to share what features are part of this vehicle?
We have I'll pepper some details at you, all right?
Yeah.
So we have some information that is embargoed at this moment.
Yeah.
But some of the big highlights that I want you to take away from this experience is that the GX now no longer has a small block V8. It's a twin turbo V6 engine. And that's a really big deal. We have a lot more horsepower, torque. The towing rating is not available this moment. It will be out in the next couple of weeks. We do have some more information slowly going to be released incrementally as we get into September. So the engine change is a huge deal. It is a rock crawler without a doubt. Okay, so it always traditionally has been that forerunner type of vibe with sharing that same platform. The folks in all the overlands across the country, they're very keen on what the GX can do because of the Forerunner ancestry, right? And being able to mod the Forerunner. So with that same platform, hopefully, it's not official yet that we have the same platform going into 2024 with the GX. Okay. But if it does, or has even the characteristics that it used to have, you're going to find a lot of the aftermarket components available for the GX are going to be available, maybe some new features, but the dependability, reliability, the product being able to really conquer the trail, get off-road, you're going to have that available. I'm actually very interested because we're going to have a deep dive for our internal team coming up on Tuesday of the GX product with a couple other products as well. If it's anything close to the LX experience, the brand new LX, the 600, that has amenities that you're only going to see in like luxury products, like a 360-degree camera for the undercarriage. So you can actually see in real time what you're crawling over. That kind of stuff is that extra little bit of luxury, right? So if we can, see something like that with the GX, I would love to see that, especially as an enthusiast myself. But even if it didn't have, those types of amenities and you just went and got an entry level, it's still going to be a spectacular ride. The interior, the front dashboard is exceptional. So we started off in like 2018 with the NX, the introduction of the NX, a small crossover. We redid the entire interior, the infotainment setup, bigger monitor, bigger screen, bigger gauge cluster. It's more contemporary. We decided to take that aesthetic and that functionality and introduce it to the rest of the fleet so there's a symmetry. So we see that in this, but the impressions that we're getting, right away from a lot of the Overland guests is like, wow, it looks like this OEM. It looks like that brand, but this corner panel looks like this brand. But the overall impression is positive. It's exciting, and it's very different and progressive for the Lexus brand to see a GX look like this aesthetically, but have that really comfortable luxury symmetry in the interior. Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful vehicle, and I'm sure a lot of people are super excited about it. And it sounds like you guys have really cared for the community, because I know previous manufacturers, it's like, yeah, we released this vehicle that you guys all asked for, and everybody's like, we asked for that vehicle, but we didn't ask for that vehicle. But I'm sure that a lot of the Lexus fans are going to be super excited once more details come out about this. Let's see, we went over the aesthetics, gorgeous, brand new design, new powertrain, which is fantastic, and that interior trim, that front dash, infotainment setup, connectivity is a humongous deal, right? For all of our operating systems. Those are the three big takeaways for the bones of what the new GX can bring to the table in its infancy, in us, displaying this in its first marketing, push here, like the past 3 weeks. So stay tuned for the next couple of months going into the holiday season. I will let you in a little bit of a evaluation from Thursday before we opened the Overland. We had, I want to say a couple hundred different owners, engineers, folks from the Overland exhibits, every OEM, every display. They wanted to come over here, and they brought their micrometers, they brought their measuring tapes, and they wanted that first look and get their numbers immediately so they can start preparing to retrofit, start preparing to modify the new GX. I definitely, with the old GX and just how popular the platform is, it's super important that you have that third-party support, and as soon as it releases, there's going to be a ton of stuff that's already going to be out and already like in the works. Without a doubt, without a doubt. So like I said, stay tuned. It's going to be a very exciting fall for 2023, and going into 24, it's going to be exceptional for Lexus. Awesome. All right.
Well, thank you so much. Please tell them where they can find more information about the GX.
As always, I want to send everyone to lexus.com for official information. We have multiple links on your lexus.com experience for your newsroom, for releases, for special editions. Hopefully we see some, even corporate enhancements, so you'll be able to, like this vehicle right here, as I stated previously, it's a Overtrail. The Overtrail edition is something that Lexus corporate is going to sponsor.
Yeah.
But to be able to get all those updates and to stay tuned, you got to go to lexus.com because it's going to be instantaneous and approved from corporate out of Japan. It's very special and very unique.
Of course.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Brandon.
Dude, it's a pleasure.
So we have made it to the vehicle expedition skills area where you can learn all different kinds of hands-on stuff on the trail stuff, like vehicle recovery, trail repairs, like anything that you would think that you would need to use. You have a high lift jack, you may buy one and put it on your vehicle and may not know how to use it. This is a great place to learn. We have Harry here with harrysituations that will tell us a bit more about kind of what's going on with this area.
Yeah, they have some super skilled and knowledgeable staff here teaching classes, and it's really easy to add to cart, but maybe you don't know how your winch works, or I have this tire plug kit, but how do I actually plug a tire?
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is giving people those hands-on skills and empowering them, so when they go out and go overlanding, now they're confident that if they do encounter a situation, a hairy situation, then they have all the tools and the skills that they need to be successful.
Awesome. So for these people that are watching, of course they can't be here, what would you suggest for them to kind of get this training?
There's a lot of different options out there on the East Coast, on the West Coast, not only at Overland Expo, but there's people that do private training. If you're in, say, Utah, Nina Barlow does some really good training. Nick Simarusti, who's out here, he's near the Sacramento area. He does training. Chris from Overland Training Canada is up in British Columbia.
Awesome.
So a lot of the people that are teaching here are full-time educators in the off-road space and are worth looking up. If there's one near you, it's definitely worth taking a class. And even just putting your hands on the things before you need them. So getting familiar with things, maybe you watch on a YouTube video about how that high lift jack works. Now you go and you get yours out, and even just doing that at home, changing a tire in the comfort of your driveway is going to give you the skills that you need, that when you're out on the trail, now you're better prepared.
Right, yeah, because you don't want to have the situation. I've had it before. I actually need medical experience because I had a friend that was bit by a dog. Thankfully, we had other people around. I knew where med kit was, and I'm sitting there just rifling through, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. There's stuff in here, and it's the same exact thing with these tools, that if you have no idea how to use them, what's the point of even having them in a sense? Because you can hurt yourself. Right. So I know with the high lift jack, there's a lot of controversy over it, and I think it's just due to improper use and not understanding how to use that tool. So a lot of people just think that they can just jack up the vehicle without fully understanding the tool.
Right, like they said in Spider-Man, right? With great power comes great responsibility. So whether it's that high lift or the winch, these tools, they're tools. They have the ability to do a lot of good, but if you don't give them a healthy respect, you could potentially hurt yourself.
All right, everybody, if you're at the next Overland Expo, you should really sign up for one of these classes because you can learn a lot of valuable information. If not, like Harry said, you can find resources online and people that will have classes, in-person classes around you. So you go check that out. Harry, how can people find more information about you?
So you can follow me on Instagram at harrysituations, or my YouTube channel, which is also harrysituations.
Awesome, I love that name, harrysituations. It's great to remember. So we are now in the Onward booth, and they have a really cool modular system that works inside of vehicles. So we have Sky here that's going to explain kind of what's going on here.
Yeah, well, thanks, Braxton. We're super excited. This is a new product. We literally launched this yesterday. So this is the second day that like human beings, aside from our internal crew, are like seeing this in the wild. So we're super pumped. it's been super cool at this event to see the customers' interaction with this idea that we conceived nearly 3 years ago.
Yeah, because it's kind of something you're like, this kind of works. Yeah, my mom said it was really cool, so we should go along with it. I'm not saying that's how it went, but it's awesome coming to these shows because that's what caught my eye.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is different. It looks really cool. I like the modularity, and that's huge in this industry. People want to be able to kind of move things where they want because everybody's kind of fine-tuning their rigs on what they need.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what inspired us to create this product.
Yeah.
We have all of our product floating around in our vehicles all the time. Stuff's rolling around, disorganized, and just space conservation.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really find a system that worked well for what we were trying to do. Of course, there's a million Molly panel solutions, which we've used. We love them. They're great. They just take a little bit of extra time to configure. They're not, you can't pop things off very quickly and easily. And so based on our lifestyles, sort of this life on the go concept where you show up to a mountain bike trail, you want to pop something off and get mountain biking. That's what you're there for. You don't want to have to spend 30 minutes disconnecting something.
That's right.
And so we came up with this sort of modular concept design where things just plug in super simply. You can adjust them, move them around, but more importantly, you roll up to your spot, pop something off, you're on the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, show me kind of how to even use this.
Yeah. Well, so it's a very intuitive system, I think. Again, it's sort of inspired based on a Molly panel system. So we have these integrated tabs or slots here with these tabs on the back of the accessories, and then there's attachment Velcro here. And so, just very simply, you put the tabs in the slots, chuck it in,
and it's on.
Done.
Instead of having to go behind.
Yeah,
and
show me a Molly
like...
panel that you can make an adjustment that quickly.
Right.
And they're solid. I have a toolkit in the rig over here that weighs 30 pounds. And I take the thing off-road all the time and it doesn't budge.
Awesome.
So super bomber. And then what's really cool is we sort of have developed, I think, 17 SKUs or products that fit onto this system. So if you have a base system, you can put things on and move them around. So for example, this is our hard case where you may put binoculars or goggles or a drone or hard drives or camera lenses, something with a little protection.
Yeah.
So that's here, but let's say I want to put that over here with this shoulder sling bag that we have.
Okay. So wait, so this is a shoulder sling bag.
Yeah, so I'll show you that here in a second, but let me just show you the ability to move it around. So there.
Okay.
It was that quick to make the adjustment. And then I can put my hard case up here.
Oh, that's really cool.
And you're set. So again, you're not sort of locked into one design or one configuration. And then the shoulder sling is actually my favorite product. It's got a nice magnetic flap. You unzip it, and it's got our panel system on the front, so you can attach a couple accessories if you want to. Okay. We have a cool vessel attached to it right now.
Yeah.
But here's your internal organization.
Oh, it's still all organized.
This is all set up for taking my dog on a walk.
Oh,
right?
Sweet.
I got the poop bags. I got some treats.
How much stuff do you need to take your dog on a walk for?
I go on long walks.
That's a spoiled dog.
On the beach. But then here's the cool part. So we just popped it off the panel.
Okay.
And then you go to the back here, and tucked in this little cubby is
a bag.
Becomes a shoulder sling.
That is awesome.
So now you're out the door, walking your dog, no big deal.
You're gonna have a quick day packing, you just pull it off and just go on about your day.
So, it's tucked on your vehicle, just acting as a bag most of the time, and then you can pop it off and use it as a shoulder sling for what you need that day.
Awesome.
And then we've got this cool insulated cooler that holds a 6-pack of beer or whatever you're drinking.
Insulated cooler.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff here going on, people.
There's a lot.
I'm like, it's usually, I think you guys really thought of everything. Keep taking me through everything you got here. Because right now my mind is blown and I'm just like, I can see myself really utilizing this whole system.
Absolutely.
Because it's almost overwhelming because you're like,
well,
I can do so much.
Yeah, Braxton, this is the thing and sort of why we've pre-built these kits.
Yeah.
Because if you look at a blank slate like this, it's almost overwhelming. You're like, well, oh man, there's so many things, what do I do?
Yeah.
So that's why here at the show we've put together these kits. Smart. And what we did, we've been working on this, like I said, for 3 years. Okay. We've battle tested it. We've gone through the paces with each one of these accessories, and we've sort of arrived at this configuration works well for this, and then this configuration. So we sort of pre-organized it. It's curated basically. But then the beauty of this is that let's say you jump into this, and by the way, this is designed to go on the back seat or on the back of your driver's seat or passenger seat. Yep. So it's like a single seat solution. And so let's say you go this route, and down the road, you don't want to use the cooler because it's winter, and you want to put something else on there. Yeah. Well, you'll be able to purchase these accessories individually and sort of configure. The cool part is that as we grow as a company, and we already have, top secret, but we already have a bunch of other cool accessories in development.
Of course.
So you'll be able to, pop different things on. So once you're into one of these panel systems, you're able to
mix and match.
Modularity for life. That's sort of what we're saying here.
Awesome. Well, I think it's really cool you guys already have these preset packs, because for me, I don't even think I would purchase if I just saw that and it's like, here's 300 different accessories that you can mount to it. I'd just be like, no.
Right.
And so by starting with this, you're able to kind of see how it uses, and within this industry, it takes time to fine tune everything. You don't know what you need until you actually start doing it.
Well, and then you get out on the road and you go on a couple overland trips and you go camping a few times and you're like, you know what, I need this.
Yeah.
And then you can add it on. And so again, with this system, you're not locked in, you're not painted into a corner. You can update and modify. We have one guy who has 4 of these in his garage.
Okay.
He has one set up for surfing, he has one set up for dirt biking, he has one set up for hunting, and what he does is he just grabs it out of his garage. He has them sitting there, and he just goes and pops it on his seat, heads out the door. So he's taking the modularity one step further. Right. He didn't even really intend for it that way, and he's like, no, I just like having the system. It's super easy. I plug and play.
I think that's the great part, is when you kind of design the system for people and the whole modularity, and that's why I'm in support of modular systems, because it allows people to get creative. Yeah. The people are going to start using your product for what you didn't really envision, and you're like, wow, that was a great idea. That innovates more products for you to develop and kind of support that.
Well, we don't want you to be into a system that becomes obsolete.
Yeah.
Right? So with this system, as you go through the path of life and things change and priorities change, you can update your system based on that.
Awesome.
Gives us a cool excuse to innovate and create new stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
I think another cool thing that I saw was on your headrests.
Yeah.
In the vehicle, you have this bag that has more bags on top of it. Like,
so let me show you the headrest.
Okay.
The headrest is our little sneaker project, I think, because it was sort of an add-on to the initial concept. Yeah. And our product designer, Ryan, said, guys, I have an idea. Let's make a headrest organizer that's super simple. So this just pops on your headrest. It's got a little secure strap here.
Nice.
Fits very basically. It's got a insulated or padded sunglass case, which is very handy to just reach over and have a place for your sunglasses. It's got a large pocket here that you can put whatever you need to in. People are putting everything you can imagine inside there. It's got a nice little tiny pocket for small things, but then the thing I like is it has our system on.
Of course it does.
So now, come over here and you pop off. This is a cool, I'll show you this in a second. But you just pop this on, and there you go. Awesome. So what this little guy is, this is another sneaker.
Okay.
What you wouldn't think is fitting in this tiny little bag is a full-blown, high-quality tote. So great for carrying stuff to the beach, putting your dirty laundry in it. Groceries, obviously. That's the thing I use it for the most. Carries firewood, whatever. It's awesome. It's super bomber, and it's in the same sort of topographic map that we have with all of our products. So.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, it's sort of like every little nook and cranny, there's another little feature.
Yeah. Which I think is awesome, because it just shows how much you can do with the system. It's not you're set to one thing, it's just like, it's almost endless. The possibilities are endless.
Right. Our inspiration is we're not singularly disciplined in, I ride dirt bikes, I go surfing, skiing, snowboarding. So I'm playing in all these different environments. And what's great with this is that I'm not painted into a corner. I can sort of configure for the seasonality or for the sport that I'm after, whether you're going hunting or whitewater rafting or whatever you're into. This is something for everyone. Awesome. And the really cool thing is that you don't even have to be into sports or overlanding.
Right. Exactly.
To enjoy this. My sister has one of these in her Bronco, and for the kids and dogs. Yep. And actually, the one that had all the dog products in it was inspired by her.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so, it's handy for her to just go to the grocery store or take her daughter on a walk, on a hike or something. It's great. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to be extreme.
Yeah, I think that's awesome too, is where there's a crossover into you can use this as your day-to-day stuff as well. You're not necessarily having to build out a whole expedition rig, this expedition bag. I mean, you can do the whole system where it's just like, this is my overlanding bag for the weekend, this is my work bag, and then this is my whatever bag. So I think that's really cool. And you're about to show me something else.
Well, I was just going to show you, we got some free grass on here.
Okay.
But I was going to show you that, this is sort of the base system. Okay. It's got a carry handle, which is handy. So you pop this off your seat and you can carry it in the house and deconstruct it, reconstruct it, do whatever you want. So you're not having to do it in the back of your vehicle.
Yeah.
It simply attaches around your headrest right here with an adjustable strap. And then on the bottom here, there's a waist strap that goes around the bottom of your seat. Okay. So that's how it attaches to the back of your seat.
Yeah.
And then, because everything has a little secret pocket somewhere, we've got a handy little laptop or map pocket.
That's awesome.
So I slide my laptop in here in my vehicle, so it's out of sight, out of mind, and protected, and not tempting for someone who wants to yank it.
Yeah. So, if somebody broke into the vehicle, they wouldn't even
see that. Yeah.
Unless they knew the product. Which I think a lot of people are going to know this product.
Right.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, Sky, thank you for showing us your booth. Tell them where they can find more information about.
Yeah, so like I said, we literally launched yesterday. We're pretty excited. We're launching a Kickstarter campaign here in the next couple weeks, so you'll be able to find us on Kickstarter. We're excited about that one. And then we will be launching this product online at onwardsupply.com in September.
Awesome.
So you'll be able to get it there.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, we're excited too. Thanks for taking the time to hear my story.
No problem. Thanks again.
Thank you. Cheers.
So we are now in the Beyond Clothing booth, and we have James here who's going to give us a walkthrough of what they brought to the show today.
Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, Braxton. Yeah. We're Beyond Clothing, and today we're kind of showcasing our new Fall 23 product lineup. It's a lightweight hiking product line inspired from our past history, which is coming from the military, bringing product to the military, building PCU, protective combat uniforms, and they're kind of based on the layering system there. So we ported that knowledge over here.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you said the layering system. So just for people that don't know, is that more of like exactly what it says, the layers? You're going to have different, like a base layer, an outer layer, or inner layer and an outer layer?
Yep, totally. So it's the base layer, the mid section, some sort of insulating piece, and then your outer shell, which is like weather protection, rain. Okay. And the idea is that it all kind of works together. So using fabrics and materials that improve breathability, moisture transport, all those things that keep you comfortable and dry and warm in weather outdoor conditions. So,
okay.
Yeah, we got a couple just like fun pieces here. This is, like I said, our new Fall 23 product line. And this is a good insulating piece, ultra lightweight, compressible, and it has a really good breathability to it too. Yeah. This is our Polartec Alpha fabric that we're using, and it's got a nice little protective ripstop DWR treated shoulder and hood.
DWR treated, what does that mean?
So that's durable water repellency, and that's just a treatment that helps shed water so it doesn't absorb and get into your system there, so preventing you from getting wet.
From like rain or snow or
you got it.
Like that. Okay.
Yep. Yep, a lot of our stuff is treated with that just because it helps improve the technical performance of any fabric.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, and this is one of our tried and true pieces here. This is our Ultra Low-Key jacket. It's reversible, has zippered pockets on the inside and the outside version of the jacket.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun, just stylistic piece because it gives you two jackets in one essentially with the two different colorways that you can.
I was going to ask you what was the benefit of the reversible. I didn't know if there was with the layering system, if it did something different, but it's more of getting two jackets for the price of one.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of change up your style, and both sides have the same technical performance DWR treatment. The insulation on this piece right here is a Primaloft Black Bio, so it's a biodegradable and recycled insulation that sheds water. Water phobic is what we say. So it just prevents absorbing any water. It actually sheds that water as well. So great technical performance piece there.
Yeah.
And then kind of to round it out, you get this shell in the layering system here. This is a Gore-Tex made in USA fabric here. It was actually it's kind of a cool recycled story. This is a fabric that was left over from a previous military order we had, and so we instead of making some waste with excess, we ended up porting it over to our outdoor line here. And so yeah, this is fully waterproof, tape seams. Yeah, just ultra lightweight, ultra packable. Just great water resistant piece there.
So are these 3 layers that you can layer?
So like these two pieces are insulating layers, so kind of like 2 different options there. This is more of like your active insulation piece right here. If you're like really just working up a sweat, maybe getting outdoors, hiking, right, that kind of stuff, and you can throw this on for extra protection in the system. You wouldn't really want to like add these 2 unless you're like ultra cold, and it's kind of like one or the other, but you know, each their own there. Okay. Yeah, we got a cool hiker pant here. This guy's got a lot of interesting features. It doesn't look like it has a lot built into it, but it's been really thoughtfully designed with the low bulk waistband here, designed to work with like any packs that have hip buckles on them, or maybe a harness, hiking or climbing harness. And so what we've done is like the button here is actually rubber, which adds some additional comfort if you got any like pressure on those points there. So it's a real thin design, and then you also have a drawstring, so you can use it without a belt. The neat thing about the drawstring is it's a static webbing cord, but in the back it's tied into a 2-inch spandex cord, so that it allows some nice like adjustability, and it's not like just a shoestring cutting into your waist, right? At the bottom here, we've also incorporated a gaiter that goes, you know, it's basically these 2 outer sides cinch around the top of your boot, and then this kind of loops around the sole of your boot and the bottom to hold it in place. And that prevents any scree or debris coming into your boot. You know, more comfortable hike. It also works good in a snow situation. If you were to wear these pants with the base layer, they would perform well in that situation too. So we have all, on the women's side, we also have the Alpha Aura jacket is what we're calling that one. And then this is our dry light Gore-Tex made in USA fabric jacket for the ladies as well. And then kind of what I'm rocking today, this is our sun shirt. We have a bunch of these on display. We got the crew style and then the hooded style as well. These have UPF 50 built into them.
What is UPF 50? Is that similar to like what sunscreen is?
Exactly. So it's going to block up to 98% of the sun's rays with this fabric here. It's also a quick drying fabric, 4-way stretch, breathable, and it's also got built into it these thumb loops right here. So yeah, just kind of an all-rounder comfort shirt, but we kind of call it a sun shirt, right? Because that main focus is trying to block the sun off of you. And this would be like a good, like, I would almost consider this as like part of the base layer in this particular system for this season here.
So tell me a little bit more about this sun shirt, because since we're out here in the sun, I think it's about 90 degrees at this expo. It's long sleeved. I understand where you're blocking the sun, but to me, I'm like, that just seems hot, right? So how is it hot? I know it's breathable, but how is it in the sun? Like, that's what I'm concerned about. As just somebody who has never worn one before.
Oh yeah, well we got to get you trying one out first of all. But yeah, so because of this knitting, you can see it's got a bit of a honeycomb type of like stitching going on in there, so that creates a good airflow. So you get breathability with the shirt.
It's probably breathes better than cotton.
Yeah, totally. Because of like the actual like thickness of the shirt, right? It has that what we call UPF rating. It's like they test how the sun rays penetrate the fabric, right? And even your cotton shirt has some sort of UPF, you know, treatment to it or degree to that. So, but then it's cooling. So as you sweat, this fabric, the makeup of it, encourages that moisture to evaporate faster, and that evaporation actually cools down your body. So your natural sweat will build up in the shirt, and then it will start to evaporate very quickly. And that is what helps cool you down. So if you're active, you know, it's really performance in that aspect. You can also just pour some cool water on this shirt. It's going to dry fast. So if you're worried about like, oh, I got to get my car in a little bit, well, it's probably going to dry in the time, you know, that you work there. But that same evaporation is going to, you know, cool you down.
So it's to me, it almost seems like it's like a second skin in a way, to where, you know, you're sweating to allow you to cool yourself down, but it's almost like more advanced technology than just a shirt, because these shirts are very I can feel heat all in here. Of course, my arms are free, but this is all hot, and it doesn't help that I'm wearing a black shirt.
Yep.
So definitely wearing a shirt like this, for me, I think would be a try before I buy kind of a situation to understand, especially in a day like this, to wear it outside.
Yep.
And that was my main concern, was just long sleeve shirt. I'm like, that just seems super hot.
Yep, and I got it rolled up here, because it is a little bit warm when you're like, static, but once you start to feel like you said your arms are gonna burn or whatever, just pull it down, and like the breathability will kind of like start to work its way in. You sweat in it a little bit, it'll start to cool you down. Yeah, so initially you might be a bit warm, but once it starts to activate those properties, like, it's nice.
Cool. I'll have to check one of those out.
Yeah, totally. Something else to kind of talk about this collection here is that it's all designed around packability too, like lightweight hiking, backpacking. So the idea, and the way it relates to overlanding, I think personally, is that it's compressible, so you're saving on valuable space inside your vehicle. Some of these products that we have self-stowing pockets where you can, it's a pocket that stows the whole entire product inside.
Within itself.
Within itself, yes. And then so you can actually store that underneath your seat. If it's a rain jacket, in case you get caught in rain, you can take that out whenever you need it. So that's kind of a nice bonus.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know. I'm definitely, since I live out of my Jeep, I'm always like, I have a huge suitcase. I have 4 seasons worth of clothing in there, and I'm like, I need to reduce this somehow because this just takes up way too much space.
Yep.
So I think trying to figure out clothing like that, and also layering, I know, is another big factor too. Is not having 30,000 different sweatshirts. It's more like, okay, you might have a long sleeve, then put on like a lighter jacket, or then a sweatshirt or whatever.
Yeah, it's less is more essentially with the system. And then also this fabric, this sun shirt here is treated with a micro antibacterial treatment. So you can wear it multiple days in a row and not have a stink to worry about, which is also great on saving and cutting space. So,
but it's also quick drying, so if you need to like hand wash it, I'm pretty sure it would be able to dry fairly quickly.
Totally, totally. On a long trip, it would work out perfectly for that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is some great stuff here. Like we have on display as an example of our history and what we're currently also doing for the military. So all this stuff here is made in the USA, which is a great story, with our brand. Again, like I said, we took the learnings from this and started to build out this outdoor line. So this all right here is current inline product. We have some durable, like ripstop kind of stuff, which is great for like if you have to wrench on a vehicle, maybe you're gonna crawl under it on a dirty trail. This is a great piece to have on. I was talking about like a Stobo jacket that's lightweight. This is a completely rainproof piece here, Pertex shield fabric.
It's really light,
and it's ultra lightweight. But man, this is like this piece packs down to the smallest out of all of them. So great to stow under the truck seat. So we hope to bring a lot of those types of solutions to the overland space with our product line. Great moisture wicking t-shirt. So like this also has some UPF properties to it, but again, like the long sleeve thing you're talking about, this is an alternate option that we have.
All right, well, tell everybody where they can find more information about your product.
Oh yeah, totally. So you can visit us at beyond.clothing.com, our website. We're direct to consumers, so it's either our website, we ship it to you pretty quickly. Otherwise, you can visit us at our retail storefront in Seattle, Washington, in the Georgetown area there. We got a nice little spot where we actually do prototyping, development, and testing, product testing, and it's kind of a great place. If you come visit us there, we'll give you a full tour of the facility, check it out, and it's just a good time. So looking forward to seeing you guys at the shop or visit us online. Thanks.
So we are now here in the Tread Lightly booth, and we have Brandon here who's going to tell us a little bit more about Tread Lightly. To me, it's very obvious on what Tread Lightly means, but Brandon, please tell us what kind of Tread Lightly as a brand and kind of what you guys do.
So Tread Lightly is not only an ethos, so obviously treading lightly and everything that goes along with that. As an organization, we're a nationwide nonprofit, and our main goal is to keep public lands open for OHV access. So that means Bureau of Land Management, Forest Service, state parks, anywhere that's public land that you want to go recreate. We are working to ensure that those stay open. We do so through the 2 pillars of our organization, education and stewardship. So the main focus that we're doing is responsible does not mean boring. And that's something that we hear a lot. Like, oh, well, if we're being responsible, that means that we're not allowed to have fun. And that's not true at all. We try to push that people take ownership over the areas that they ride. Because of course, when people take ownership over their areas that they like to go out and have fun,
Yeah.
they're more likely to take care of them.
Exactly.
And ownership means, respecting the resource, joining communities, giving back, becoming knowledgeable about the areas that we're having fun, connecting with your local rangers. Rangers are seen as this kind of bad guy that they're just out there looking to give people fines. And no, rangers want you to have fun. They want you to enjoy the areas that they're responsible for, because otherwise they wouldn't be rangers.
Right.
They love the areas that we have fun in, and a lot of times they're OHV users as well.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
They kind of have to be, because I mean they love the land, and they want to make sure that people are kind of respecting the land as well. And it's unfortunate that there are people out there, and still out there, that are not, respecting the rules. And I think a lot of it, for me, that I've seen, it's because this outdoor industry has gotten very popular. There's a lot of the general population that has gone into this industry. A lot of them have ATVs or UTVs. They think it's an off-road vehicle that they can just go and romp around wherever.
Exactly.
And they just don't understand the rules. So I know I've been in a lot of confrontations where I've seen people kind of like lash out, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and help educate them on kind of like that, the reason why they can't do the things and go off trail. Sure, there are areas that you can, act a fool or whatever, because that's what the area is designed for, but really trying to help educate just people, give people the benefit of the doubt of like, hey, just so you know, like don't come at people like, hey, you're not supposed to do this.
You want to try to take a negative interaction and turn it into a positive interaction, because no one likes being scolded.
Yeah.
But everyone typically likes to be educated and come away with a better knowing of the industry or the sport that they love. And you're right. The industry has grown exponentially over the past 5 years or so, and that means there's a lot of new people to off-roading that they don't know what they don't know.
Exactly.
And we try to make it really simple.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a course. You don't have to do. You don't have to be a master off-roader to go out and be responsible. Of course, we would always recommend that you take one of our online courses. So T.R.E.A.D 101.
Okay.
And then also, if you want to take your knowledge above and beyond, you can become a T.R.E.A.D trainer. That means that you can come out to events like this and represent T.R.E.A.D lightly as an organization and spread the message.
So what exactly is in your course? Or like what are we learning in the courses?
So we're talking about, the main thing that we focus on is our T.R.E.A.D principles. Okay. And they're common sense rules for off-roading and recreating in our great outdoors in general. Yeah. So it's an acronym, so it's T.R.E.A.D.
Yeah, okay.
So it's travel responsibly, respect the rights of others, educate yourself, avoid sensitive areas, and do your part. Right. And we really try to focus on that last one. Okay. Doing your part, getting involved in your community, giving back, being a part of cleanups, being a part of trail restoration days. It's a great way to build that rapport with your local land managers and get to know the people that are taking care of your local public lands. And it's really simple. Okay. And you don't even have to go and be a part of an organized cleanup. One of the easiest ways that you can go out and do your part and give back is whenever you head out on the trails, take 2 trash bags. Okay. One for yourself and one to give to someone who doesn't have one.
That's a good way to put it. I was thinking the other bag would have been to pick up the trash that you would, find on the trail yourself, but definitely kind of somebody that doesn't have one, because it happens. It's understandable.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's, for me, a lot of the times, if just trying to throw trash away, I'm like, where's the trash can? Like, I can't find one. And so
we have to pack out what we pack in. There's no trash service on public lands.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're in a campground somewhere, someone's not going to come up and clean up after you.
Right. Yeah. So that goes into the saying, leave no trace. Yeah. Right. So it's, to me, of course, like I say, it's obvious, but leave no trace. The way I kind of visualize it is, you only are leaving footprints and tire marks. Don't leave any markings on trees or engravings on trees, stickers. Don't have any trace of that there was a human there, except for maybe a vehicle drove by or somebody was hiking by. That's it.
We all love stickers. Stickers don't belong on on signs. They don't belong on trees. They don't belong on buildings.
Yeah.
They don't belong on rocks.
Yeah.
Put them on your fridge, in your garage, or on your vehicle.
Yeah.
Or in a binder if you
Right.
like to collect stickers. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that was kind of one thing that I did, because I think I was up on, I think it was in the Alpine Loop, maybe Ophir Pass or whatever, and there's a sign that's just loaded with stickers, and I'm like,
Yeah.
let me put my sticker on it, because that's, everybody's doing that, but it's definitely, that goes against the leave no trace. It's just like, we want to keep the land as it was. You're just there visiting, just because we want to minimize our footprint and our impact on that environment and protect it.
Yeah, and Leave No Trace and Tread Lightly are sister organizations.
Oh, I didn't know Leave No Trace was another organization.
Yeah, they're another organization.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a saying.
There's no official link between the two, but we
Okay.
both acknowledge the work that we're doing in conservation.
Yeah.
Leave No Trace focuses on non-motorized and wilderness.
Okay.
And Tread Lightly focuses on motorized.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's
So
definitely
it's almost two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, exactly. That's very cool. And so you were talking about there was maybe two parts of Tread Lightly. You were going into the education, and then I think the other one was
Stewardship.
Stewardship.
And that ties right into do your part.
Okay.
So get involved in your community. Be a part of cleanup efforts, be a part of trail restoration efforts.
Awesome. All right, well, Brandon, tell these people where they can find more information, how they can sign up for your course, or just kind of where they can learn about more information about Tread Lightly as a whole.
Absolutely. So you can find us on the web at treadlightly.org and follow us on Instagram at treadlightlyteam.
This is the remarkable Roadian HTX2, the new, built from the road-up all-weather tire with a no-compromising attitude. 3 PMSF certified to excel in heavy snow, ice, and rain. With the tread design and compound engineered to deliver long life and high mileage. And choose the sidewall option that matches your style and ride, including raised white lettering. Make us a part of your passion. The Roadian HTX2, uncompromising performance from Nexen. We got you.
All right, now we're at the Yakima booth where Austin is going to be able to take us through a new product you guys just launched, right?
Yep. Yeah, so we just launched our Ribcage, which is our internal support system for Jeep Wranglers.
Okay.
Specifically for Jeep Wrangler 4 doors. What it does is it mounts to the existing rails inside and supports your roof to add strength so that you can run your things like your lock and load platforms, your tents, things like that up on top of your roof.
Right, because the Jeep's top isn't, is it even rated for anything?
That's a good question. I can't really speak to exactly what they're rated to, but what it does is it allows us to feel comfortable with you running lots of weight up there. 330 pounds of dynamic load.
Yeah, because that makes sense, because you can remove this whole back piece, and I wouldn't really be comfortable with just putting a gutter mounted roof rack, but depending on what I'm putting on top. What you have on top right now, I wouldn't want to put that just on the gutter mounts, because I know there's a lot of controversy over, gutter mounted roof racks on Jeeps specifically.
Right. Yeah. So this actually installs tracks up there on your roof, and then that allows you to mount things really easily. Like our Skyline towers go right in directly to it.
Nice.
You can put a platform. You can run crossbars up there, and because it's a track system, you can run as many crossbars as you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is
it
all up
like
and down it.
all like T-nuts or what is it?
So it's like a T-nut that slides in, and that's the landing pad, and then your your tower
Yeah.
snaps right into it.
Awesome.
So it is a custom install. You do have to drill into your roof. This is a permanent solution.
Right, of course.
Yep. It's rated to 330 pounds of dynamic load,
330,
and that's off-road rated.
Yeah.
And then it's like 850 pounds of static.
850. Okay.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
it's pretty hefty. It adds a lot of strength to your Jeep roof. It's definitely needed if you're looking to do any overlanding stuff, if you're looking to get off and go, explore new areas that you haven't seen, and you want to take a bunch of stuff with you like jerry cans or a tent.
I'd say almost putting anything on the roof, especially in the overland industry, because everybody's known to overload their rigs, unfortunately.
Yeah, and we make stuff that's really heavy, and we want your vehicle to be able to support it.
Awesome. All right, Austin, well, tell people how they can find more information about this product.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can head to yakima.com. You can actually use our fit tool, put in your Jeep, the year, make, and model, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to put on your Jeep in order to make it usable.
So we're in the Geyser booth here, and they have made a portable shower unit that uses less than 1 gallon of water, and I have one personally myself, and I love it to death. We have Jonathan here, who's the owner of Geysersystems, and he's going to give us a little walkthrough and demonstration on kind of exactly what this system is. So Jonathan, please tell us what What exactly is this?
Yeah, sure. So all you need is 0.8 gallons of water to shower up to 2 people or 1 person with long hair.
So these 3 bottles here is 0.8.
Yep. And you put 2 liters of cold water in the unit right here first. Then you take a liter of boiling water. We all know what this is. Top it off with 1 liter of boiling, and you have a piping hot shower ready in as little as 3 minutes. We have a pump that operates like your heart. The more you need, the faster it's going to pump. And you control the flow rate with this valve right here. And instead of a shower head that's spraying water everywhere, you get a sponge that directly applies each drop of water exactly where you need it. They're interchangeable, and we have different colors. That way we keep base camp organized. Like mine is yellow, yours is green. This pink one is now for the dishes. And yeah, that's a very high level of overview of how we can make the most of every drop of water. Because I mean, like, let's face it, we will always at base camp have plenty of food, plenty of propane, but water is the first thing to run out, and we never have enough water to clean everyone and everything. So this is a great multi-tool to make the most of every drop of water at your camp.
Awesome. So what I love about the system, I have one myself, and for me, it has completely replaced kind of like the whole shower systems. I was looking at the similar stuff like Julkas or, you know, baby wipes or anything similar to that. And the Julka, yes, it gave me the shower feel, but it uses so much water. Unless I'm sitting there trying to hold the faucet up, turn it on and off. But then it's more annoying to take a shower, especially with those systems. You have to have them set up. There's a time and place for them.
Yeah.
They're great to have, but if you want to be able to conserve water, like he said, there's 0.8 gallons of water that you only need, and it can shower 2 people.
15 minutes of wash time with 0.8 gallons of water. Yeah. And I was when I was living in the back of a van in Australia, I was dealing with the exact same problem that you were having. I was like, okay, I got the shower bag, got the foot pumping thing. Like, I tried every single thing, and ultimately it was just impossible to carry all the water that was necessary to run those systems. Like, I had no more space for my gear, or it was just simply too heavy for me to carry around after I've been done trail running or doing whatever it is that I love to do outdoors. I was just exhausted. Sometimes I would just skip the shower because I just don't want to manage all this water. So this system makes water convenient,
right?
And you don't need to waste a ton of space or energy heating up a whole bunch of water.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So what about for the people that already, let's say, have a Julka, or they have already a water system in their rig, but they love kind of the efficiency of the sponge?
Yeah. So for those who've already invested in a shower system, we got a very special product. It's just been released and introduced at Overland Expo West, and it's called our Eco Shower. So it's really been designed for people to conserve water at home. But here we have a welcome card, a way to get 2 free scrubs in exchange for a review, and installation less than 5 minutes, super easy to set up. This is our full kit, so it's going to have all the contraptions necessary for those of you who have a shower head inside of a shower stall. You take the shower head off, you install this, and then put the shower head and screw it back onto this valve. This allows you to use your shower head or your sponge, or if you want to use both and use a little bit of both, you can do that too. Assuming you want to use your sponge, you have a way to control the flow out of the sponge right here, and then at the end of this tube you have a sponge that gets held by this contraption. What makes this new product really remarkable and fun is this new product called the mini soap. Inside of this box you got 18 soaps. You throw that inside the sponge before you start your shower, and when water's dispersing inside the sponge, it's melting this soap. That's and awesome. It's causing the water to not only feel great, but smell great. And you can use any soap you want,
of course,
but this is just a way for us to really transform your water, the way your water feels and smells in your shower stall.
Yeah.
We have a couple different models of this. We got this model, which is a chrome hose line. We also have a black hose line in both 6 and 8 feet lengths.
Okay.
And then for those of you who say, hey, listen, at the end of the hose line, I have a shower wand and I just want to replace that. I don't need any extra hose line.
Yeah.
No problem. We have what is called a half kit, where you can unscrew the shower wand and then place just this black tubing on with just a small little flow control valve at the end.
Got it.
And it replaces the shower wand. Reverse compatible with a lot of products that already exist in the market, such as Julka, Camp Lux.
Nice.
For those of you who really love those systems, those are great. I will say one thing. Those systems require the presence of flow to ignite and start the heating of water, okay?
Right.
So most of them are between 0.3 to 0.5 gallons per minute, which is considerably less than the 1.5 gallons per minute that typically gets pumped through those, okay? So you're now saving 3 to 5 times less water using this sponge system.
Okay.
With the geyser system, you're conserving 10 times less water. I mean, this is comfortably delivering a shower at 0.15 gallons per minute. So, I mean, we're talking about a lot less water with this. So, not to steer you one way or the other, you now have a couple of different options to make the most of every drop of water, but just know ahead of time, you're not going to have the same experience, and with this system, you still need to have a little bit of flow to kickstart the heater in your system.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So what I think is cool about this whole system is, like you said before, is it just conserves water.
Right.
It's definitely a way to save your resource on water. We know how precious it is, and that's the reason why I love it, is because I don't even really need to almost worry about it. If I want to take a shower, I can take a shower. I can even fill it up with half a gallon of water, and I can get a full, complete shower.
Yep.
And that's what I absolutely love about it. But before I actually tried it, when I first saw it, I was a little bit skeptical. But you guys also offer at Overland Expo showers out for the campers, right? Yeah. So tell me about kind of what's going on out there.
Oh yeah, no. So our company has expanded a lot in not only just expanded our offering, but our mission to transform your relationship to every drop of water. And this year, at Overland Expo shows everywhere, we are now creating a service to provide showers, hot showers, for those who are camping at these events.
Yeah.
And not only is it going to allow you and your family to feel great, but it gives you a chance to test drive this product before you make a decision.
Yep.
So if some of you are on the fence and some of you are skeptical, and you really need to try it out before you buy, come to the Overland Expo shows, come to the campsite. We have we have 6 shower stalls. We're going to give you a VIP red carpet service. We even have some Dr. Bronner soaps.
Awesome.
We have everything that you need so that you feel great, and your family comes to these events feeling awesome. And I mean, the joy and happiness that we bring to people's faces when they're like, I only used like half a geyser, and we're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They're like, I was so skeptical at first. I didn't think I would use it. And they're like, I had a full. We had this one guy who came in yesterday. Can I tell you a little story about
Yeah, go ahead.
There's one gentleman by the name of Kenneth.
Okay.
Super tall.
Yeah.
Super big. To be honest with you, I looked at him and I'm like, this is going to be a good pressure test of my product, you know?
Yeah.
And he looked at me with like the skepticism that I saw, and he's like, if this cleans me up, I'll buy your product, but I want to see this thing. And I'm like, I promise you won't be disappointed. And he's like, all right, cool. So he hops into the shower stall and he hops back out and he's like, I only used half a geyser.
That's awesome.
Tomorrow I'm buying your product.
Yeah.
And I was like, I tried to high five him, but he was like all the way up there.
That's awesome.
So it was really fun. But Kenneth, super cool guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think one of the great things that I love about this whole entire shower stall experience is, you know, this whole entire community that has inspired me to also innovate and go see the world in the back of a vehicle and rig. The community is what I love about overlanding. And now I've never imagined, but now our shower stalls are like a key reason why our community is so much happier, so much closer. Everyone's just having a good time. And you know, when your family, your wife, your kids, they're smiling and they're just having a great time, then you now know that you've done your job passing the love for the outdoors. And those shower stalls out there, they're definitely doing that.
Yeah. That's what's crazy about just having a fresh shower. I mean, especially for here at Pacific Northwest, it's been 90 degrees. I think today it's about to be 95 degrees.
So hot.
And so everybody is just dripping, they're wet, they're nasty. You don't feel good. And so I think the amount of smiling faces that you see coming out of those stalls has to be great, because everybody's like, like, this is great. And that's what sells them, and that's what sold me exactly, because it was, like I said, it gives you that complete shower feeling, like I actually took a shower. I didn't take a baby wipe and rub it around my body. I didn't like spritz water around me that was cold. Like, you have the actual shower experience, which I think is awesome. All right, well, Jonathan, thank you so much. Can you please let them know how to find more information about your product?
Yeah, so geysersystems.com.
Okay.
We made some changes recently to our website. So we have our outdoor gear division, our at-home division for those who want to save money on their water bills.
Awesome.
And we have also our events and services division. Just click on the outdoor gear division. You got 2 collections, the flagship product that I just introduced to you, and we also have the RV collection that you're now seeing right here. So, but geysersystems.com is where you can find us. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, go check them out. We are now in the Red Arc booth with Ryan, and Ryan's going to tell us a little bit about the whole Red Arc system. I have a Red Arc system myself and love it to death, but tell them about what Red Arc is.
So Red Arc, we are the power management specialists. So when you add that second battery to maybe your auxiliary system for your house system, some people like to say it either way, that's where we come in as the middleman, specializing in either solar, DC to DC to charging, also AC to DC conversion, inverters, all that fun stuff. So when you want to power your accessories through your auxiliary system, we're the middleman that really help makes it happen.
And what I love about the system is it's kind of like a set it and forget it. Like I have their system and I don't even need to think about and worry about power. It just works. That's what I love about it.
Absolutely.
Now tell me about this new product that you have that you've released.
The Ferrari of batteries. I don't know if we can say that, trademark issue. We might have to scratch that. But the new Alpha 150 powered by Super B is just an absolute workhorse of a battery. I like to call it the supercharged battery. It has a lot of neat functions, like it is a Group 31, but it's 150 amp hours.
Group 31, that's like the size of the battery, right?
Absolutely. So most Group 31s are not 150 amp hours.
Right.
And again, touching back to that supercharged, specifically to this battery, it has 135 amps of maximum input, which is much larger than most other batteries. And then also on the output, it's up to 200 amp hours. So you can have, most of the time, it's about 1,000 watts per 100 amp hours for inverters and batteries. With this, you can handle a 2,000 watt inverter with a 150 amp hour battery. Again, it also has internal heating. So for you folks that are out in really cold temperatures, if you have a lithium battery that's not heated, with our system, when it's below freezing, you're not able to charge those batteries. I spent some time in Idaho for about a month, and obviously I don't have a heated battery because we didn't have this out yet. So for almost a month, it never got above 30 degrees, so I could never charge. Luckily I had enough battery bank to sustain me for the time there, but yeah, you're not able to charge.
So typically with batteries, you can usually discharge it, right? The discharge rate has a lower temperature rating, but then adding juice back in.
Correct, yep. The internal BMSs will probably shut off after a certain point, but our system also does that as well. With the Manager 30s and the BCDCs, they have either a temperature sensor on the post or an internal sensor like the BCDC that will not allow output after a certain temperature. So it's definitely an added bonus for people who'd like to go out to the ski hills or spend a lot of time in those four season areas where they do get those cold weather patterns. So it's nice.
So what is really cool is that this is a 150 amp hour battery. This is about the size of my 100 amp hour battery. So
yeah, absolutely.
Reducing the space that you have to figure out where to position your batteries will help. You know, you can possibly carry 2 of these for 300 amp hours versus mine would be 200 amp hours.
Correct. Yeah, you would need in your instance you would need 3 of your batteries, which are going to be much larger footprint than the 2 of these, to reach the same capacity.
And now you have, it looks like there's some like LEDs on here. Now I know with your whole system you have a lot of Bluetooth capabilities. Does this battery have Bluetooth?
Yeah, so this will have its own app to it as well. So it is a smart battery, has its own information, so you can see your shunt. Say you have a BCDC, you don't have a Manager 30 with the shunt. You can see all of that power coming in and out and have state of charge percentage, and really dial in your experience based off of your battery telling you how long you can last, instead of you trying to do the math in your head like, hey, I turned my fridge on today and it's really hot, I'm assuming I can last 3 days. It jumps up another 5 degrees out, that may cut in half, you never know. So this gives you a really tailored experience for your outdoors.
Yeah, awesome. That's great for the people that especially already have your DC system and they don't necessarily want to upgrade to a Manager 30 or the Red Vision system, where they can just monitor the batteries through that battery itself.
Absolutely. Yeah, the BCDCs coupling with the Rogue, because with the BCDC it doesn't have its own shunt, so you could have the BCDC with the Rogue, have all your capability of accessory switching through there, and then just do all of your monitoring through the battery app.
So I wanted you to bring this out just to show kind of like the whole system on this is what
you can use in your vehicle. And what's nice is that it's such a small, compact system, but you have so many different features. So tell me how kind of all this would work together.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you don't have if you have some space constraints that you can't fit our full Manager 30 Red Vision systems, the Prime or the Rogue, this is a really good alternative because obviously the Rogue is your accessory manager. You're switching, you can monitor water tank levels, you can activate and turn on and off your 10 accessories, monitor water tank levels, and then 8 physical outputs all through this unit. This is your charging unit, so that's what's going to keep this battery nice and happy, whether it's from your vehicle or from solar. And then, like you said, look at how compact you can fit in the footprint of just the face of the battery, this whole powerhouse of a system versus competitors or even some of our own products.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so tell them where they can find more information about all your products.
Yeah, so if you're out at the Overland Expo, come see us at the booth. If not, a ton of great videos on YouTube, and also go to our website, www.redarcelectronics.com. If you're in Australia, Europe, rest of the world, .au, .nz, or .eu.
So we are now in the Born Outdoors booth here at Overland Expo, and they have a really cool, unique bed system that rolls up. Stuart is here with us, and he's going to give us a little demonstration and kind of explain exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the Badger bed, we call it, and it's an old school bedroll. We're kind of going back in time and just making a nice simple bed that you can bring outside. So inside the bedroll, you've got a 4-inch mattress here. So inside the mattress, you can use, this is a Thermarest pad. Any type of 30-inch pad like the X pads will work in here as well.
So this is like a fully, is there foam in here?
It's a self-inflating pad.
Okay.
So the pad itself is an R7 rating, and so when you're sleeping outside, a lot of people get cold.
Yeah.
And one of the main reasons why you get cold is because your mattress, it doesn't have any insulation.
Correct.
So with
from the ground.
So the cold air comes up from about, you get an air mattress, a foam pad, there's no insulation there.
Yeah.
And so the cold air comes up from beneath. Put all the blankets on top of you want, you're still going to be cold.
Mm-hmm.
So with a nice quality pad like this one, it's an R7 rating, so it's super warm. The R rating is the same as like your insulation at home.
Right. Okay.
So if you got a nice high R value, it's a warm pad, so it's a neutral surface.
Mm-hmm.
So once you've got this nice pad on there, and you can start adding layers on top of you.
Okay.
So this is a self-inflating pad, which means that the foam inside it expands, it sucks the air in.
Mm-hmm.
You put a little air compressor on top or a little air pump onto it, and top it off, make it as comfortable as you want. And then around that, we've built a bedroll. So you've got a bottom sheet, so a fitted sheet, a top sheet, and then your insulation layer.
Okay.
And with the insulation layers, a couple things we've done is we have snaps on the side of it. We have both the synthetic quilt as well as a down quilt.
Oh, okay.
And these will snap together, so you can kind of layer these up. So I've slept in this situation with these sheets and this at 0 degrees.
Yeah.
And been totally comfortable.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the whole system because I think a lot of people in the overland industry, I think a lot of them don't really understand the outdoors that well, and the layering is huge, right? And being able to reduce the amount of space and stuff that you're carrying. A lot of people I need like 12 jackets. It's like, no, you want to layer all your stuff up based off of the temperatures that you're sleeping in.
Absolutely. And the way this is, like, we're here in Bend right now, and it's going to be 95 degrees today.
Yeah.
Right, so it's warm. So you're not going to sleep with the down quilt and synthetic quilt. But what you can do with this is you can actually remove these layers really easily.
Okay.
And so you can just shed if you just want to sleep in this. You can do this. The top layer right here has a two-way stretch. And this can be zipped up to kind of keep it all nice and tight, and so it's like a sleeping bag.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the comfort of your bed at home,
right,
but the warmth of a mummy bag.
Okay.
So you got a two-way stretch here. So inside here you got a ton of space. This will lift up.
What does two-way stretch mean?
So two-way stretch means it stretches to the left and the right.
Okay.
But the head and the foot, it will not stretch.
Got it. Okay.
So it kind of stretches this way.
Yeah.
So it'll pull up this way. So you got a lot of room in there.
Nice.
To kind of add. So you can slide in there. So I'm a side sleeper, and so I toss and turn all night.
Mm-hmm.
And I can sleep inside here. It's totally zipped up, and I'm not constrained at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
At the base of it, what we've done, and the other nice thing about this, because like I said, it's like your bed at home. And so you've got the bottom sheet, a fitted sheet, and then a top sheet, and the layers, all this is machine washable.
Okay.
So you can take it, just
take
put
it all apart.
Take it all apart and wash it. And it's really, at the base, what we've done, you have an anchor system, and this keeps it from pulling up.
Okay.
Right, so it's kind of like it's tucked in, your bed's tucked in, and you just go to sleep.
Awesome. And this all fits into this guy over here, right?
Exactly.
Just this roll?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so what we've got here is the everything that you're seeing inside here, the mattress, the sheets, the quilt, is all rolled up in this bedroll.
Not the pillow.
Not the pillow.
Not the pillow.
But
Okay.
you can.
Yeah.
You put the pillow inside, it's gonna be a little bit bigger.
Okay, that's awesome, because I have a self-inflating mattress that I think is almost the size of this, and that's just the mattress itself.
Yep.
It's just 4.5.
Yep.
What I love about the system is that all you have to do is just unroll it and your whole bed is set up.
Yeah.
Because I have to unroll my mattress, I gotta blow it up, then I gotta pull my sleeping bag out of the sleeping bag, and the sleeping bag is another big piece.
Yep.
And so it's cool that it's just all self-contained. It saves a lot of space.
Absolutely. And the other part too, you got about just kind of rolling it out. This bottom material is a 610D ripstop material, so it's PVC coated. And so you can sleep directly on the ground with this. It's truly designed for cowboy camping.
Yeah.
Throw it on the ground, throw it in the back of your truck.
Yeah.
We've had people sleep in the back of their truck with nails underneath it. These sleeping pads are not cheap.
No.
Like this pad itself is like $275.
Yeah.
But you wrap it up around the Badger bed, it totally completely protects it. So you can just throw it on the ground, sleep on rocks, sleep on whatever.
Yeah.
And so you're protecting all that investment that you've got in there.
Yeah.
It's gonna work for it.
That was the bedroll or the sleep system that I have. The mattress, I know a couple people that also have it, and the biggest issue is it's a great system, but a lot of them have holes in it. Like the material is just so thin to where they were just sleeping on the ground. They have the floor of their tent in there, but it still created a hole.
It'll create a hole.
And I think they even had, I think one of my friends had a dog walk on it, created a hole. So that's definitely something that you don't want to do.
Yep.
But what I love about these systems is that the self-inflating mattress, you're able to also add firmness or take away firmness.
Absolutely. You can totally customize it on the pad, so you can inflate it, deflate it however you need to.
Yeah.
Change your insulation layers however you want. We've got a flannel sheet, we've got a cotton sheets, down quilt, and all this stuff is interchangeable. The other thing, you mentioned the dog, and so one thing that you can do with this all zips up. And this is super nice when it's all zipped up, because what it does, it completely protects your bedding. Right?
Yeah.
And so when this is up like this, your dog will get on here.
Right, of course.
And your dog will be wet, and that's totally fine.
Awesome.
All your bedding stays clean.
Yeah.
And so, like we cowboy camp a lot just out in the desert, wind blows in, sends dirt around, all your bedding always stays clean.
That's
and
great.
so even in the back of your truck, you can just open up the valve, throw all your stuff on top of here, and just leave it full. So you don't necessarily have to roll.
That's actually really cool too, because I know a lot of people that will sleep in the bed of the truck, and just being able to eliminate a step where all you have to do is just unzip and there's your bed and it's clean because it's all protected.
Yep.
That's really smart.
Yeah, and the other thing we've done too with this is, so this right here will fit inside this duffel bag here. So this is our 120 liter duffel bag that we've got, and this will fit inside here. And this is designed to actually go on top of your roof of your vehicle if you've got space constraints, like you're running a Jeep. You can slide this in type of here. All the straps come off.
Can you fit 2 in this bag?
You can, only one, but it's big enough. The reason why it's a little bit bigger than this one is because sometimes you can have extra layers in here, or your pillow. Like when we travel, a lot of times everybody gets one bag.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. So this is your space. That's what you get.
Bag and clothing. Is that what you're saying?
You put your clothing in here. Yeah, there's enough space inside. When this is inside here, to put your pillows, your clothes, whatever you want. So when we roll, we'd be like 4 of us in the Land Rover Discovery 2. Everybody gets a bag. That's it. That's
awesome.
your space allocation that you get. And one of the things we've done on the bags is this is wider at the top than it is at the bottom.
Okay.
Right. So you can overstuff this thing, and it's really nice because you get it going in there, push it in there, and you've got this handle here and these big heavy-duty YK zippers, and you can just torque on this and just really apply a lot of pressure on here.
Got it. And so you can really stuff everything
down. You can
down.
stuff it in there and just really kind of use it and abuse it.
That's really cool, because that's also nice to where you're just kind of really compacting everything, and you're creating another system to where you're able to put stuff, even if you want a fancier pillow, a bigger pillow. Because I need 2 pillows. I need one for my head, I need one from between my legs. And so that's my pillow, my sleeping bag, my bedroll takes up a lot more space than this in my system. Yeah. So this I think is a great system.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah. So how can people find more information?
There we go. Gotta forget the details.
Yeah.
So you can find us at bornoutdoor.com. It's BORN outdoor.com. We're also available online at stores like REI, Moose Jaw, Camp Saver, some other stores like that. But if you got any questions, hit contact us. Everything comes to me. We're a small family-owned business out of Colorado, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks again, Stuart.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
So right behind me, there are a bunch of classes going on, and that's, I think, one of the coolest things about Overland Expo is that there are pretty much almost an unlimited amount of classes that you can do. Classes like how to travel with your pet, how to travel full-time, how to camp, how to start a community, anything that you can think that you have any kind of questions on in this community, I guarantee you that Overland Expo has a class for you. So what's also really cool about Overland Expo is that you have these brands like Volcon and UPCO that have electric bikes, and they allow you to ride those bikes. All you have to do is just sign a little waiver, put on a little helmet, and go off and ride. So I'm gonna see which one has available bikes, and we're gonna take one for a spin. I'm just gonna use the throttle all the way. I don't wanna pedal. What's the point? So I just got finished riding the Brat, and we have Jordan here who's part of Volcon's team, and he's gonna tell us all about kind of the whole system, because I see you have multiple different bikes going on here.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I've seen this a couple years ago, maybe a year ago. This was your first product here?
That was, yeah. The first one was just the Grunt. So since then we've redesigned it, relaunched it as the Grunt Evo.
Okay.
So some of the major differences are in our new progressive suspension, our Walker Evans shock.
Yeah.
We took some weight out of the frame, made it a little bit more aggressive in the rear end, shortened things up a bit, added some fairings, so we've kind of made it more aesthetically pleasing, and but kept the essence, right? The fat tires, the 25 kilowatt motor, the capabilities, and just kind of improve things a little bit.
Awesome. So I think the number one question I think a lot of people are going to ask is, why the fat tire? Because a lot of the electric bikes, I don't think there is any other electric bike that has a fat tire. I've seen fat tire bicycles before, but so why did you guys decide to kind of go this route for the first
So it's kind of reminiscent of the fat tire bikes of the 70s and the 80s,
Yeah.
you know, the little Honda 50s and with the big fat tires, it could go anywhere. And so it was, at first it was a capabilities decision, but it was also an aesthetic decision, right?
Okay.
We wanted to harken back to that age where those of us who are like 40 to 50, we grew up riding those things, right?
Of course.
The other thing is capability. This is a super capable bike, whether you're hunting or fishing or working on your farm or you're just going overland.
Okay.
You know, we have a test track in Texas where we take newbies out who've never ridden a motorcycle before, and they will ride this over terrain from gravel roads to a dry riverbed with stones that are size of basketballs.
Awesome.
And it's smooth the whole way.
Yeah.
And they can enjoy themselves, and you know, the rest is just the bike's capability. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So how much does this weigh? What are some like stats on this bike? Like weight, speed?
So the weight is 325.
Okay.
It will go up to 40 miles per hour. We govern it at 40 because we want people to get the maximum range from the battery while having enough speed to be capable really with whatever they want to do. It's got 3 modes. So you've got stroll mode, explore mode, and sport.
Okay.
Stroll keeps the throttle response pretty light, max speed 20 miles per hour. If you're just cruising and you want to enjoy, that's one way to think about it. The other is someone who's never ridden a motorcycle before. They can get enough speed to kind of learn the ropes, and then when they're comfortable, Explorer will take you 30 miles per hour-ish, and then Sport will maximize the torque and the speed all the way. It's also one of the only bikes in the market that has reverse. So you can hold down this D-pad down, and you can back it into a trailer, or if you get on a trailer, a trail, where you can't go any further, you can back it up.
So can it back up a ramp? Does
that
have enough? Okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
It's a controlled speed, controlled torque. It only goes about 5 to 7 miles per hour in reverse.
You're not trying to go fast backwards.
Yeah, but like there's no clutch, right?
Yeah.
So you can just hold it steady and goose the throttle a little bit and make your way out. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Run time or distance you can go. It is a dual battery system. So if you look under here, there's a slot for 2 batteries.
Okay.
Bike ships with 1, or you pick it up at the dealer with 1. And depending on your driving behavior, you can get up to 30, 35 miles on a single battery.
Awesome.
You can house 2 at one time and then just swap whenever you run out and get up to 70. You're probably going to average somewhere around 50 miles.
Okay.
You know, with the way people ride on the trails.
Yeah. So this is, I would probably call it like your flagship product, right? This is like the top top of the line product that you guys make?
In our 2-wheel segment, yes.
That's right. I forgot
we
you
have
guys.
a 4-wheel segment as well.
I got. But you guys don't have any 4-wheels here, right?
Actually, right over there we have our Stag.
You do.
Which is our side-by-side.
Okay, let's go look at that.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so tell me about, you called this the Stag?
This is the Stag, yeah.
Awesome.
This is the first high-performance electric side-by-side on the market.
Okay.
There are other electric side-by-sides with older technology, like lead-acid batteries. Essentially, you could call them like off-road capable golf carts.
Okay.
There are some competitors of ours that have started to dabble in low kilowatt-hour, lower performance, smaller footprint vehicles. But we endeavor to build the highest performance utility recreational vehicle that just happened to be electric. So this would be our flagship product.
Right, okay.
It'll go into production in September of this year.
Okay.
This is one of our pre-production prototypes. This utilizes GM Ultium propulsion technology.
What does that mean?
So General Motors battery pack.
Okay.
The same battery technology that you would find in a Chevy Bolt, for instance.
Okay.
Is in here. So with GM customized the batteries so they fit for our platform. What that has allowed us to get massive performance. We can use their drive motors, the differentials, and some of the other components, including OnStar connectivity in our vehicle. So this trim package, as you see it here, has got a 0 to 60 of 6 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
Which is only about 2/10 of a second slower than some of the turbo, I won't name our competitors, but let's call it the turbo R-type off-road vehicle.
Right.
That's just an offshoot of electric technology. It's the performance. But it's also super utilitarian. So as you can see in there, it's got fold-down rear seats.
Yep.
So you can put a full 4x8 sheet of plywood in there.
Okay.
It comes with high-end 4-point harnesses, nice bolstered seats like you would see in a high-end, off-road racing vehicle. Super comfortable. 125 horse, which is a little bit lower than some of our competitors, but being electric, the torque is 270 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
So off the line,
it's instantaneous.
It's instantaneous.
That's electric.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of electric.
That's right, smoking everybody.
Right.
And also, one of the things we thought is, let's not make people accessorize everything. Let's give them the package that they would want. So it's going to be pre-drilled for all of your rigid lighting accessories, top and side, so no one's going to have to go in and mess with the frame.
Right.
You get KM3, the BFG mud terrains, right off the floor, raceline wheels. Elka 2.5 adjustable podium shocks.
Okay.
The suspension system is proprietary.
Yeah.
Designed for this kind of torque and abuse. But then you get inside, all of them will come pre-mounted with an 8-inch or 10-inch Garmin Overland navigation system.
Yeah, especially for this kind of vehicle, those Garmin systems, I haven't personally looked into it, but I know they look really cool. In having a vehicle, an off-road capable vehicle to kind of go out and explore, you definitely need some proper mapping system.
Yeah. Well, and it also offers vehicle-to-vehicle communication. So if you have someone with a Garmin unit on their motorcycle or in their vehicle, you can see where each other's at.
Yeah, I really like, because there's a lot of the times radios just are not really picking up. You're not sure where somebody is, when you can just kind of oh, they're right here, they're on their way.
I think the last thing that'd be interesting to someone thinking about purchasing one is, because we run GM propulsion, we also have OnStar.
Okay.
So we don't have the blue button, as they say, where you can push it if you're out in the middle of nowhere for emergency assistance, but we've designed a mobile app that will allow you to see where your vehicle is, the state of charge, in the future where other Stags are in the area, communications between vehicles, again, in the future, where you can see whose charge is declining and who might need like a emergency charge somewhere out on the trail. And then all the other creature comforts and features you would think of when you buy a new vehicle on their automotive app.
Yeah, so it's really cool seeing a lot of the side-by-sides they're bringing in a lot of the technology from the larger vehicles or automotive vehicles, just because it's comfort, right? Before it was kind of, everybody had the golf cart. Now it's like an off-road golf cart. It's like, now it's this, now it's this. It's really cool just seeing kind of what people and companies can do with a smaller package like this.
And being off-road, it's nice to be able to bring in those automotive features without the automotive regulation per se, right? And it's used in a different environment, but we can add things quickly that customers expect without having to go 3 years of testing and validation and all that.
And that's a good point, because a lot of people will question, it's like, well, why didn't they include it in this vehicle? It's like, well, they kind of have to go through a whole process that takes
a while to go through. Cool. So you want to take me through the bike that I rode that you guys are letting people take out on test rides?
Sure, yeah.
All right, so take me through what this bike is.
Yeah, so this is our first e-bike. We launched this late last year.
Okay.
This is called the Brat. It's what would be considered a Class 2 e-bike. Okay. So it ships in to the dealer at a 20-mile-per-hour governed top speed, which is based on regulations in the states that keep it from being classified as an electric motorcycle.
Okay.
So you can ride this bike on bike paths or in the bike lane. You don't necessarily, in most states, need a driver's license or insurance or registration because of that classification.
Yeah.
We have a separate mode that you can unlock called off-road mode, which opens up a Class 3 e-bike governance, which is 28 miles per hour.
Okay.
Now you're supposed to ride that only off-road and only in non-pedestrian areas.
Correct.
Because at that point it's considered.
You'd have to get it registered and licensed at that point.
Not necessarily.
Right?
It's state by state, so you definitely want to check your regulations.
Yeah.
But you're more apt to get maybe a ticket or stopped if you're riding at that speed on a bike lane.
Yeah, of course. You're riding faster than what a bicyclist can ride.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it ships as a Class 2 with a 20-mile-per-hour govern.
Okay.
And then we have 4 modes.
Okay.
So Mode 1 is just the pedal assist. So you might have noticed when you rode it, when you pedal,
it like
that
kind of
assist
kicks forward,
in. Yeah, in that mode, you're going to get about 70 miles of range. I want to say that's 100% assist. So there is no throttle response at all on that. It's all 100%. Then we have Mode 2, which gives you about 25% throttle and 75% assist. And Mode 3, Mode 4
keeps going up.
all the way up to 100% throttle
Yeah.
at Mode 4. And you can still pedal, but it's not going to give you any assistance at that point. It's just going to be throttle. You know, when we launched this bike, we wanted to bring something out that didn't just look like another clunky e-bike, because there's a lot of very square, very... And you look, they're simple to manufacture when everything's square and angular.
It's not, it doesn't look like a bike. It just looks like a box.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's, again, some of them look really good. You know, we've got neighbors here. I think their bikes look really cool. But we wanted the motorcycle essence because of our design language. If you look at all of our vehicles, we've got this exo arch skeleton.
Yep.
You know, same on our Grunt and on our Stag. And then a lot of us are motorcyclists, and we just love the cafe racer kind of look.
Yeah.
And hence the name Brat, because there's a Brat style of motorcycle that's got some kind of chopped lines like this. This one you see has been upgraded with an aftermarket shock you can get online.
Okay.
It's an air-based shock. The stock ones come with a coil-over based shock.
Okay.
And then you've got your fully adjustable compression front suspension, hydraulic brakes, got a nice cluster here that'll give you charge, speed, and some other basic information. 1 kilowatt or 1,000 watt battery.
Okay.
And 750 watt motor. Peak is about 1,000 watts, so you can draw a little bit extra energy from the battery.
How long does it take to recharge the battery when it's dead?
So full recharge is 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
You know, depending on where you're at, and that's just a 110 outlet.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people take them to work or school, and you could just, the battery comes out super easy.
Okay.
And you take it inside, plug it in, and when you're ready to commute home, you dump it back in there. Cool thing about this too, in terms of like overlanding or, you know, van life per se, is it's a low enough wattage that you can charge these with solar chargers.
Oh, okay.
So some of the bigger bikes where you get like 2, 3, 4, 5 kilowatt motors, or batteries, there's not enough solar power to charge that. And if you try, it's going to be days, not hours to charge it. So that's some cool features.
Sweet. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I had a wonderful time riding these bikes, and I am definitely in the market for an e-bike, and we'll be checking these out in the future. So can you tell them how to find more information about you guys?
You can visit us at volcon.com. There you'll find all our products, the Brat, the Runt, the Grunt, and the Stag, as well as any technical information. And we've always got a cool dealer promotion going on, so check us out.
The Roadian ATX is 360 degrees of versatility, with a 3-ply sidewall that's perfect for heavy loads and tough roads. It's 3PM SF certified, with emerging 3D sipes to improve traction and performance in snow, mud, and wet conditions. And 2 dynamic sidewall design options, so you can pick what fits you and your ride best. The ATX is pushing all-terrain performance to a new level. Nexen, we got you.
All right, guys, so we are at the Skinny Guy Campers booth right now, and what's crazy is that they are a truck camper company, but behind me is a trailer. So Donovan here is going to explain what the heck is going on with this whole contraption here.
Right. Hey, thanks for coming over.
No problem.
I'm Donovan Frederickson from Skinny Guy Campers. Here at Pacific Northwest, we're introducing our trailer concept, which is something that's going to be kind of new to the world. So what we've done is we've already engineered a fully self-contained cab height truck bed camper that's available with flushing toilet, internal cooktop sink, furnace, 36 gallons of fresh water, the flushing toilet with a 20-gallon black tank. But what we did is we wanted to give the customers an either-or option. So the folks that have, say, a Bronco and a pickup, or just a family with a JKU or something, we wanted to give them all the great features of our 6.5-foot truck bed system in a trailer package. So what we've done is we've joined forces with a company called X-Venture. X-Venture has been around really quite a long time in this business. They're pretty old school. They have a 10-year warranty on their chassis.
They make some of the strongest trailers I've seen out there.
Their main business is military contracts for the M1101 Humvee trailer, right?
Yeah.
So that's their main business. This is their civilian version, kind of legendary quality, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They're all aluminum, and so are we. So what we've done is, I started looking at their product, and I started looking at my product, and I thought there really is no reason we shouldn't be able to marry the two.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a way that allows the customer to quickly take off the camper itself, and then push away the trailer itself, and then use the trailer independent of the camper.
Nice.
And also this allows people that want to base camp more often. So say you want to kind of hunt trails in Moab, and this allows you to drop it, set up camp, and then go do day trails with your off-road system, right?
That's typically how I suggest people use trailers, is that it's more of a base camp kind of situation where you can drop it off, because yes, this trailer is capable of being pulled on any trail if you absolutely need to, but it isn't fun pulling a trailer through crazy trails. So definitely being able to base camp and kind of set up camp and just come back and pretty much have a home is great.
Right. So that's what we thought of is that level of versatility. But there was a lot of extra benefits by combining the two products. And one of the coolest things I think we're going to be able to achieve is an outside galley and an inside galley.
Okay.
So that's really going to be quite unique in a garageable product that you can stand up in and get dressed in and hang out in, is to be able to cook inside easily and cook outside easily, right? So we're going to be able to, going forward, we're even going to be having a fridge in this front cabinet here. So you'll have dual fridges, a fridge up inside, and then you'll have an exterior fridge.
Okay.
The other thing is there's over 10 inches of space underneath the camper from the back.
Right.
And what that means is that's full cargo, that's full user-defined cargo space. They can actually even put like one of those lower profile SHW off-road drawer systems in it, a bed slide of some sort, cases, you name it. The overall weight of this camper, because they're both aluminum, is only going to be about 2,500 pounds with water.
Wow, 2,500 pounds.
With water.
With water.
So that leaves you 1,000 pounds of net carrying capacity over and above what this system weighs before you're maxing out the axles of the trailer.
So that's nice. That's nice because, like you said, like the JKs, like the smaller SUVs styles that may not necessarily have a large towing capacity, can have an amazing trailer, an amazing setup, and get that camping experience that a lot of people are looking for, be more comfortable, stay out longer, all of that.
Yeah, with 36 gallons of fresh water and 5 gallons of LP, and the idea that we have a 14,000 B2 furnace, this puts you into cold weather situations. And again, if you just needed it to put a couple dirt bikes in, and you wanted to, and you had a 6.5-foot truck, you simply take the camper off and place it onto the truck. And now you can pull dirt bikes, trail side by side even. It's got enough capacity for that. It's awfully tall. You'd have to have a good set of ramps to get it up in there. But I see people using it for like day to day at home too. Take the camper off, put it in the garage. Now you got topsoil, load of topsoil. So the whole inside is all Line-X'd, just like a regular truck bed.
Nice.
And inside the dimensions are really close to an 8-foot truck bed. So it's 4 feet in between the 4 by 8 sheets of plywood. You can probably get in there. So it's like I said, the versatility is kind of like, as we talk about and think about it,
You just come up with more and more ideas.
It becomes more, it gets more exciting. And then the cool, I've already mentioned it, but this is not taller than a typical lifted Jeep.
Right.
So it's garageable.
Yep.
As when it's closed, it's garageable, and also when you tow it, you're really not breaking a bunch of wind.
Yeah.
And it's because it's profiled like your truck. You don't really see it in your rear view mirrors, and it kind of just follows along, on the trail, right?
Yeah.
So it's if your Jeep or your SUV will fit down the trail, I think this will too.
Definitely go.
Yeah. So that's.
So I really like the versatility of this.
Right.
I think that's just a genius idea because, unlike people like me, I live full-time on the road, so I need a dedicated setup. Most people are weekend warriors, are going out ever so often, and having a whole expedition rig built up just for a couple weeks out of the year is kind of pointless. But with this, the versatility, you are able to have a full, complete camp setup, or if you want to go simple, if you have a truck that can fit the camper, you can put the camper on the truck and then pull the trailer, or if you just need an open trailer to haul anything else, it allows people to use everything more and you're getting more bang for your buck at that point.
Yeah. And if you do have the truck that would take a 6.5, the options become even way more versatile, right? Because some people have a raft trailer, right? So in that case, you would put the camper up on and then pull your boat or your raft trailer down to the lake or the river, right? Any more questions?
No. Actually, one question would be, how can people find more information about you?
Yeah, so skinnyguycampers.com. There's a bit of information flowing into the Instagram. There's some coming in through YouTube. We're getting better at that. But skinnyguycampers.com, side note that these are pure prototypes, right? So we don't have information on these. You guys are gathering the information as we're gathering the information. We do know they weigh about 2,350 pounds this way. We do know that ultimately, depending on what level of camper you put on, they're going to be somewhere in the 30s, all the way to where a Patriot could be in the high 40s, low 50s. So that's what we're thinking, but we still have to go through the whole process of costing and we kind of just wanted to see whether people like the idea of having a garageable, fully self-contained, multi-tool of camping.
So that's what's awesome about these shows is that a lot of companies, you are able to prototype and get direct consumer feedback on whether or not if you should go forth or not.
Right.
I really enjoy it and I hope you guys do too. So thanks again, Donovan, for showing us your whole trailer, truck, camper contraption. I know you haven't figured out a name yet, right? It's still in the early phases.
People can get on Instagram and vote for a name if they want.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thanks again, Donovan.
Thank you, man. See you around.
We are now here at the Acacia booth where it looks like a paddle board's on the bottom of this tent. It looks very cozy in this tent. And John is here and he's going to take us through what is exactly going on with what Acacia has made here.
Yeah, so basically this is the Acacia. We call this kind of like off-the-grid camping.
Okay.
So we've designed it in a way that, basically camping doesn't have to suck.
Yeah.
You don't have to be on a hard floor with kind of rocks that are going to get in the way.
Okay.
And so essentially it comes with the inflatable floor, which is similar to the technology used in inflatable paddleboards.
Yeah.
So you just set it up, use the electric pump that comes with it.
Okay.
It has a battery inside. Exactly. And you set the PSI you want, so you can have it up to 10 PSI or down to 1 if you want it softer. And basically it gives you a full hard floor to stand on.
Yeah.
But you can also soften it so you can sleep on it as well.
Okay.
Then the tent itself goes up super fast in about 2 minutes. You just pop the sides out, you're up and running. And there's also a canopy that comes on it, and that's going to give you extra protection from kind of rain and wind, gives you a bit of shade, and you can also fold it all the way down for kind of a high level of weather protection and extra insulation if you choose.
Okay, so the canopy goes all the way around the tent?
Exactly.
Awesome. And then is the tent attached to the bottom platform or like permanently attached?
Yeah, so the bottom platform has a flange that comes up with an inflatable perimeter. And that gives you an extra level of kind of wind and water protection.
Yeah.
And then you pop the tent on top, you seal it with kind of a high level Velcro that goes all the way around and you're up and running.
Awesome. And so how did this idea come about? I know you said just talking about being on rocks and stuff, but I stepped inside of there and it's very soft. I'm curious to see though about letting air out to sleep on it. Is that what people are using it for? Are people kind of deflating it to sleep on it, or is it just? I mean, I guess it's versatile to where you can put your own.
Everybody has a different way to use it. You know, some people they really like it at 5 psi.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I like 2 psi. They choose. Some people will put a kind of a cot in there on top of it.
Yeah.
It's really up to the consumer. We make it versatile that way. Right. So yeah, and really the way this idea came about was. You know, we love glamping. It's a way to get outdoors, but with a little bit of comfort.
Yeah.
And you know, you want to be in a space where you feel comfortable and you can kind of spend a long amount of time. And that's where this came from. Initially, we were like, well, how do we bring that high level of comfort, almost a permanent install, to something that's portable that you can use every day? And that's how this came about.
Awesome. And now, with it being an air inflated floor, do you have to worry about sharp rocks, dogs walking on top of it, anything that will damage or puncture a hole into it?
No. So firstly, we do give like a 3-year warranty.
Okay.
And for people ordering now on Indiegogo, we give an extra 2 years, so it's got a 5-year warranty. So you'll be looked after for a good amount of time.
Okay.
Now, in addition to that, we've done a ton of testing. We've run a truck over this thing, and it's been totally fine.
Yeah.
We've had all of our company dogs in there. My dog's out of his mind. He scratches it. It doesn't do any damage to it.
Awesome.
In the event that it does have an issue, of course, we'll replace it. But we've got a bunch out in the wild now, and we haven't been able to puncture them in the wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now one question, it's pretty much a paddleboard underneath this tent. Does it float, and can I put it on the water?
Up to you.
Okay.
It wasn't primarily designed for that, but we've got, you know, a lot of people are kind of anchoring it to the shore.
Okay.
You know, again, be very careful.
Yeah.
Of course, and then you can also take the bottom away from the tent itself and just float on it.
Awesome. Okay, so you can have almost like a platform.
Yeah, have some beers on there. Out in the sun.
I can see this almost using it as like if you have a pontoon boat, you kind of set it off to the side of the pontoon boat, so you just have like a little area. If that, I mean, even though it wasn't designed for that, I can see people using it for that. It would be really cool to kind of have this little shelter that's right off the boat.
Oh yeah, and you know, like in a lot of ways we designed this for ourselves, for the comforts we wanted.
Yeah.
But we're finding families love this. Like kids just go for this. Like they can jump up and down, float in the pool.
It's almost
whatever.
like a trampoline for them.
Yeah, totally.
All right, thank you, John. Let them know how they can find more information about this, because you guys just launched on Kickstarter or Indiegogo?
Launched on Indiegogo about 30 days ago, and you can still order on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Units are shipping out immediately.
Awesome.
And then just go to theacacia.com.
Got it.
And you can find us, acacia.com, and you'll be able to find us, and that'll link you to Indiegogo, or just go to Indiegogo and search Acacia.
So we're here at the Rome booth with KC, and he's going to give us a little walk around of their booth, talking about all the different products that they have. I thought they were just boxes and coolers, and they have a lot more products than that. So
yeah, for sure. So I mean, we definitely have our cases, coolers, tents, awnings. That's kind of the base of the products that we offer. We try to focus on our base camp systems and just making it a better base camp for everyone. Yeah. And so this year we've more than doubled our product line. We've came out with a lot of new products. Some are just different iterations of like our cases, that kind of stuff. But we've added a ton of accessories that just make your camping experience more comfortable and enjoyable.
Nice. So it's kind of like a whole ecosystem that you said at base camp.
Yeah, and that's kind of our ethos. Is it's like we see that we kind of focus in a couple different areas. It's your like living quarters when you're camping, and then also your carrying solutions of getting all your gear there to help you get out and enjoy more time in the outdoors.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, what's behind us here?
Yeah, so a couple things we have here. We have our landing mat. This has been one that people have really loved. It's got a small bit of EVA foam in it. It's waterproof material, super high quality and durable with them.
Yeah.
It rolls up into a tube so you can store it super easy. But somewhere to roll out underneath your camp, like underneath your tent or in front of your vehicle. You can take your shoes off. I have kids, so like we put the kids on them.
Yeah.
It's nice there, but a good place to get out of the dirt and have a clean space, you know, just at the bottom of your little habitat when you're camping.
Yeah, I was camping for the last week, and it was just dust all the time. My shoes are still dusty, and this would have been great to have, just to be able to like lay over and not really worry about getting dusty.
Yeah, so they've been great.
We'll hold for that.
Yeah, got a little plane flying over. No, they've been great. We've seen people use them in a lot of different ways. We see them out front, underneath the tent. We see people put them inside of their awning rooms. Because they fit perfectly inside of there as well.
Because it's big.
Yeah.
It's not just like a little mat. Like usually you see mats
it's not a
that are this
doormat
big.
type thing. Yeah. But it's perfect, like as well. Like we see a lot of people who shoot, they use them as like shooting mats, so they can have a place to lay and they're out of the dirt.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Ground tents, I've seen a lot of people put them down because you get a more waterproof layer
floor?
and a little bit of cushion below it, so they're putting their tents on top of them. But even like we take these to every baseball and soccer game that our kids go to as well. So it's a very versatile product just to use in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I see a lot of like soccer moms and whoever just throwing it in the back of their vehicle. It's almost like a better quality beach towel, blanket, whatever. So more comfortable.
Yeah, we just took it to a concert the other day. It was nice to be able to sit on the lawn. It had a nice little soft place, and you don't get that like damp feel when you sit on the grass for a long time. Even a blanket, you'll get stuff that comes up through.
Yeah.
But with the waterproof materials, even if it's wet, you can roll it out, and you've got a dry spot where you can take your shoes off and hang out.
So is the purpose of the EVA foam just to give a little bit, if you're on like rocks per se?
Yep, just padding.
Yeah.
So if you have your shoes off, if you step on something that has a sharp edge, that it's not poking up through, that kind of stuff, and so just makes it more comfortable.
Okay.
So
awesome.
But we have that there. We have our new chairs. They come in two different colors. Right here is our olive green on both of these, but we have a tan color as well. We have a tan one down further in our booth. I can point it out in a minute.
Okay.
But super premium. They've got aluminum structure, legs to them. They've got an imitation walnut here. We went with the imitation instead of the real thing, just because it handles the elements really well. It's similar to like a Trex material that you'd find out on like your deck behind your house. It's like the stuff that's not wood, but it has like that kind of like plasticky feel.
Yeah.
And it's because it handles like weather really well. And so you won't
sense.
get any swelling with like if it gets wet, that kind of stuff. We got a nice canvas seat to it. It's got a storage pocket in the back.
Okay.
So you can store a jacket,
that's
your
the bag
that it comes in, those kind of things. It's got a water bottle or a drink holder there that is connected to the leg, so it actually holds your drink really well. I know a lot of chairs with their cup holders, you throw something in there and it twists and falls out.
Falls over, yeah. That makes sense.
But we've been really stoked on that.
I'm gonna sit in it. I'm gonna try it out.
Give it a try.
Actually, because I know with like camp chairs, the big thing is just comfort. And those small ones, the ones that are you have to kind of piece together.
Yep.
They're nice because of storage and space, but they're just not comfortable. And this one, like I always like chairs with armrests. This has a nice kind of incline back to it. It's very
perfect for sitting around the campfire, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it packs up really nice too. That's the other thing a lot of people ask about. You get a pretty small, compact like shape with it when it's stored away, and they open and close really easily as well.
Awesome.
So, but that's our chairs.
Okay.
That we just came out with. Next, we've got our 270-degree arc awning. This is a really awesome awning. It's freestanding, which means you don't have to have the legs down for it to work. We have the pole legs nested inside of here with guy lines, so you can strap it down if you get into like some serious heavy wind situations. Most of the time, we don't pull them down. I mean, with these shows, oftentimes they can get pretty windy, and we've had a couple of them where we got like 40 to 50 mile an hour winds, and we've still never had to put the legs down at a show, which has been awesome and people love. We fully constructed this from the ground up, so we have custom extrusions, and that's one of the things I think that makes this stand out from a lot of the other 270-degree awnings. Is it's super burly, can hold a lot. The material on top of it is a recycled 4-layer ripstop sailcloth, so super high quality and techy fabric in it, which people really love, which gives it a premium feel. It has an arm here that kicks up, so if it rains or you get any sort of weather that way, you get drainage that comes off of it and you don't get the pooling that just sits on top of the awning. Stores and deploys super quick, takes about 10 seconds to set up. You just unzip it, you grab the strap, walk it around and attach it to the other side of the vehicle and you're ready to go.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, I know. I've seen way too many of the cheaper awnings just completely invert themselves in the wind to where I'm like, it's one of those buy once, cry once items to where you're going to love it and it's going to last forever.
For sure. Yeah. My dad always taught me you can buy it right or you can buy it twice.
Yes, exactly.
So, let's go with quality on these things, but it's been great. We've loved this product and it gives you a ton of shade and helps you be a little bit more comfortable at camp again. So kind of the same focus we've had with the majority of our products. Cool, so this is our newest tent addition to our line. This is the Desperado hardshell tent. It's an A-frame style tent. tent. There's a few things that kind of set it apart from anything that is on the market. One of the things that I love about it, it's got this like rise here at the back. And so when you open it, you could just open it from one end, but when you pull it, it automatically opens the back end as well. But you get 10 inches of extra space in it as well. So it's a 7-foot tent long, but you get 10 inches there for your feet. And that's at the bottom of it. So, I mean, if you're away from if you're not right on the end of it, you know, you get anywhere 15 to 20 inches there of extra space, which traditionally with A-frame tents, it's one of like the things that people don't like is if you're a little bit taller, your feet are constantly pushing against the ceiling.
Yeah, you're always like in it and it just doesn't, just touching it just doesn't feel right.
And if you're like me, I kind of obsess when I'm trying to sleep there, and it's just like I feel like my toes are pushing all night long. So
exactly.
Can keep you from having a good night's rest. So I've loved that feature. If you can see up on the truck here, we've got the load bars, and so you can attach things like cases, kayaks, stuff like that up on top, so you have the ability to mount stuff to the top.
Do you know the weight rating?
We don't have an exact weight rating. I mean, I've had about 50 to 60 pounds. I don't recommend if you're leaving the gear on top when it's open, going higher than like 50 pounds. But if it's closed, I mean, you can store things that are up over 100 pounds kind of thing, but you have to take them off before you open the tent.
That's pretty standard, and that's all just based off of the struts and all that, just holding it up.
Yeah, you'll get some sag if you end up with too much weight. But with features wise, you've got your rain flies here. There's 3 different modes that you can run this in. All of the rain flies are removable, so they have a zipper that you can unzip on all of them and you can take them off. You've got side rain flies that you can remove.
So there's 3 sections.
So they're each a panel. So you can run it like up on the truck, we've just got the front on there. You can remove these sides or you can remove all of them just so it's a wedge, depending on how quick you want your setup to be. If you don't have any of the rain flies, all it is like undoing the latches and letting it go, and it's set up and ready to go there. Inside of it is kind of like where all the creature comfort is. You got a plush 2 3/4 inch mattress on it with an anti-condensation mat underneath it, so it doesn't get any of that mold and like funk from any moisture that gets in it. Super plush top that's super comfortable. Same material is used on the top of it. Helps it with insulation. It's insulated top and base as well. But gives you that soft touch there. We've got a media panel inside up on the roof so that you've got like pockets to store things, as well as you can store like an iPad in there. It's got a clear pocket. So if you or watch a movie before you go to bed kind of person, you've got that there to enjoy it. You also got a window at the back of it, so you can get this thing super open. If you live in a hot climate or you're camping in a hot climate, get a lot of wind flow going through these, and it makes it a lot more comfortable.
That would be nice. I mean, if I was sleeping, I would almost put my blanket, and if it was hot, I would open that window, put my blanket like above it, so that there's wind flow kind of going through.
It'd be perfect. The last thing is it comes with an LED light strip. You can see it at the back of the tent there. You can just plug it into any battery pack you have, and so you've got an installed light inside of it, which makes it really nice. And you climb in just to hit the button and light up your tent that way. Then it comes with some other stuff like boot bags. And
that was standard from your other rooftop tents, right?
Yep. We have the boot bags and anti-condensation mats that come in all of our tents.
Anti-condensation mats. On the bottom of the mattress.
So underneath the mattress, there's this little mat that lives under here. And it helps. It's a breathable material. So if you get moisture inside of your tent, if you get condensation that builds up, or you spill something like that, that it doesn't just soak into anything or sit there. So we've got a waterproof material on the base of the mattress, which keeps the moisture out. And then that anti-condensation mat allows it to properly dry.
Since there's no bed slats or anything like that box spring mattress.
And so it just keeps it from like getting mold and mildew build up inside.
I didn't know that. I thought it was more of like a added cushion for the mattress, because I was like, I don't know what this is. It kind of has some spring to it, but I don't really see it doing much, but that makes sense.
Nope, just keeps it so that you don't get that like funk, and then keeps it from like the smell that builds up with them as well.
Of course.
So this is our new shower room. It's quick, easy deploy. It kind of mounts the same way as our awnings do. We just have it thrown up here inside of this pop-up tent, so we had a place to show it off. But you got 2 windows that open up inside, so if you want to get a little bit of like air flowing through or that kind of stuff, if you need to. You got a back window as well, so if you install this on the side of your vehicle, you need to get in to get like your toiletry stuff, that kind of stuff.
Or just be able to, because I know there's a lot of the times you need to adjust the temperature or something. It's right there.
Exactly, and so you just run the hoses for your shower, whatever shower it is that you're running, whether it's like a just like a bag shower, a pressurized like container, whatever that is. You run them over the top, you can take a shower. I use them a lot to change in as well, so it's just kind of a changing room. Cool, so over here we've got our cases. Before we had 6 different sizes of cases. We just added 7 of them, totaling in 13 case sizes now.
Wow.
So we've got a lot of different options depending on whatever your storage needs are, we have a case for you.
For the space that you have available on whatever you're trying to store.
Correct. And so we've got 4 different rooftop applications for them, which have been really popular. We have mounts for them. We have the lid organizers, MOLLE panels, and we recently came out with bags as well. So we have storage bags, so if you need extra organization inside of the cases to get the smaller stuff organized, we got 4 different size bags that fit in certain different cases. But we've got all those cases that are new here. We've also changed the, we call it a lid lift. So it's the gas strap mechanism that holds the lids of the cases open and contains all the force inside of it, and is super strong and holds them up there. And we've also got our coolers. We got all of our new coolers and cooler sizes. So we've got a total of 9 coolers now, ranging from 10 quarts all the way up to a 55 quart cooler as well. So same coolers we had before, just changed the styling a little bit and added a few sizes to them. Yeah, and I was going to mention as well, we haven't quite released this yet. It'll be coming in the next week or 2, but we've got tie-down straps. And so for someone who doesn't want to use a mount for like rooftop storage or tying down their cases to anywhere, you can now run our Rome branded tie-down straps.
And now tell me about this wonderful thing that I know a lot of people are going to love.
Yes, so this is our soft step is what we're calling it. What these are is on your rooftop tent ladder here, you can install these soft steps. They just slide over the existing step. You can screw them in to secure them in there as well with self-tapping screws that they come with. They got a little bracket on the side that does it. But it just takes away that harsh angle in a lot of the rooftop tents.
Going down barefoot?
If you've ever gone down barefoot, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but just slides over the top of them here to make it just a little bit more comfortable.
Oh yeah, that's very nice. And then does that allow it to all collapse down together? I mean, I guess you'll have that little bit of a gap.
Yeah, you can still collapse the ladder. The function of like self-closing doesn't work with them.
Right.
Honestly, a lot of times I don't screw them in. I just throw them on.
Okay. Yeah.
That way, it's a little bit easier just to put them there, and then I grab them, store them away in a rugged case.
Yep.
And then I store my ladder away.
That makes sense.
A lot of people will actually screw them in, and that's what these brackets are for here.
Of course.
So.
Okay.
But that's the soft step.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the last thing I'm going to run you through here is a quick little preview. This product will be launching in the next week or 2. It's a foam insert case kit for 3 different of our case sizes. So we'll have it in the 83, the 95, and the 80 liter.
Okay.
And so it'll be a DIY kit. So it'll come uncut. You can cut it out to whatever it is that you're storing, whether this one we have set up for fishing gear.
Yeah.
You can have fishing gear, you can do guns, you can do your Starlink setup.
Yeah.
Whatever stuff that you want extra protection for. We see people put like drones and radios, that kind of stuff inside of them. But just gives you a little bit of extra protection inside of them.
Yeah, I mean, I come from the photography video background, so stuff like this is great because then you're able to protect your gear. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to DIY cut out the foam. Why can't you just do pre-cut stuff? I know that they have where it's like
the pluck and pull.
The pluck and pull, but those get destroyed by putting stuff in and out. And then by doing the DIY, what's great is that you're able to customize it specific to your specific needs.
Exactly.
And it's kind of fun to be able to lay things out, and it's just like, I did this. This is my box. It makes it more personal.
Sure. Yeah, and it's super simple to do, and that was, I mean, your example there, the pluck and pull of it falling apart is a big reason we didn't go with that type of foam.
Yeah.
We went with this type of EVA foam. It's super easy to cut out into whatever like system you want. I actually did one about a week ago. We had a guy who was testing it, and he wanted to store his guns inside of it, and so we just laid them out. I took a marker, I traced around it, and then I just took like a razor blade and went and cut it, and it took me about 5 minutes, and I had the whole thing set up, and super easy to do it. Once you get it all set up, it's set up and you're ready to go at that point. It's just drop them in and store them.
Okay. So then people can just buy, the people that already have the cases, they can just buy the foam separately.
Yep.
Awesome.
So they can buy it, if you already have a case, you can buy it separate, or you can buy it as a kit with a case and a foam kit as well. But I think that's it. I think that's most of the new products that we've came out with in the last little bit. But.
Yeah, and then tell me how people can find more information about all your products.
Yeah, so you can find us online. We're at romeadventureco.com or any of our dealers. We've got a big dealer network across the U.S. And about 200 200 to 250 stores. And so if you're looking for the location that's closest to us, in our footer of our website, we have a dealer locator and you can pull them up there. But anything else, you can find us online or on social media.
Sweet. All right, go check them out.
Thanks.
All right, guys, I'm completely exhausted. It's been about 90 to 95 degrees here, getting blasted in the sun. As you can see, I have a nice farmer's tan going. As always, this was T.R.E.A.D Magazine. You can catch us at any of the expos coming up and for future coverage, so stay tuned for that. Again, my name is Braxton Klavins, also welcome to the outdoors, so please check us out. And again, thank you for watching.